see all three of us on there, so that should be good. And are we expecting anybody else to come in person, or is everybody joining
remotely. I think everyone's gonna do it remotely.
Okay, well, that'll be fine. So let's get everything underway with that. Let's bring to order our select board meeting for May 12th, 2025. We have all three select board members here. We don't have any opening public communications or comment.
Sergeant, Soul from the state police, he didn't get back to me, so I'm gonna assume he won't attend unless all of a sudden he pops up.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out to see if he pops up.
Okay.
We got Sarah waiting in the lobby, so we'll let her in too. All right. Okay, so the agenda, any motions to amend the agenda, or are we going to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Yep, I'll second it.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? The agenda is approved. All right, we have minutes from the last two meetings. Do you have copies of those minutes? Here we are. And then we had a couple of questions on the minutes as we were moving through the finalization process, but I think we got everything on there. I had a not so good voice recording and a not so good video recording.
Oh.
And the voice recording didn't have the first part, so I didn't have all of what was said at the beginning.
Okay.
But pushed it together and we were able to get most of it together there. And then I think everything was fine for the minutes from my point of view from March 10th. We just didn't have these last time.
Nothing outstanding that was messed up.
No. We just started our meeting kind of late last time or like right on schedule, but we didn't have a copy of it and we didn't have any means to print it out, so we didn't.
Hey, I'm at the select board meeting. You made it, all right, great. Call you later.
Checking in.
Went to Maine, made it.
Oh, good. Safe and sound.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
No.
You miss anything? I was pretty frantically trying to remember the
Yep.
numbers and everything.
Looks good.
All right, motion to approve the minutes of March 10th and the minutes of April 14th, 2025.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're good. Approved minutes. All right. On the line, we were going to invite in Catherine Guessing. She is going to give us an update. She is coming in from, as general counsel from the Vermont Agency of Natural Resources, and this is a follow-up on the cell towers spot, and I'm trying to think of what else she was mentioning. 'Cause this is about the land
conservation.
The land conservation, okay. The conservation land, that's right. Okay, let's see if she's available. Oh, it says, Sarah says that she can't understand what's being said. Let's see if there is a way to make it louder. Let's see if I can test it too. Hold on. I'm going to try to test so we can. Audio. Okay, let's see. It looks like it's picking up good right now. Maybe if we all talk a little bit louder.
She said that's better.
It's better? Okay.
I think, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's just a little hard to hear when you're all sort of facing the center of the table. I don't know if the microphone needs to be repositioned.
The microphone's in the center of the table. Can you hear?
It's a little better than before, thanks.
Yeah, I had it kind of over towards the center of the table. Now it's more like right next to us. So that's, I'm hopeful that that would work. Yeah, I'm using the speaker, has a microphone in it, so I'm gonna try using that. Okay, sorry, it's our first time using WebEx for our meetings, so I apologize. We're trying to work out kinks today and try to make sure we have the right setup and everything. So thank you so much for your help there, sir. Okay. Let's see.
The audio is cutting out again, sorry.
Yeah, we were-
Let's look at that.
We hadn't said anything, so that might have been why.
Unfortunately,
It's still bad. It's not working. Is Catherine on?
She's muted.
She is muted. I wanted to see if she was available or if she could hear us. I can switch to a different microphone, but I don't know if it's going to work. The Logitech won't pick up.
This is Catherine here, huh?
Nope, that was Sarah. Was that Sarah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, Sarah Ray from Two Rivers. Hi, everybody.
Yep.
From,
Two Rivers,
okay.
Fuji. Yeah. She called in last week too. Or last month.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you well, Sarah.
Yeah. Well,
You want to
should we just move forward with Sarah?
Can you maybe send Catherine
A chat?
message?
Sorry, I heard my name, but I couldn't understand what was being said.
Just a second.
We can hear you well.
Is that the mic is working? Or is it still working on?
Let's see. Let's see. I sent her a message. Let's see if we can. I want to make sure that's working. Okay.
Yeah, I wondered, that's what I was wondering if it was picking the microphone up on the computer instead of that.
Yeah, well, it shows when I was talking into that, it was picking up, but that's what I was wondering, if it's just being, if it's going to be temperamental, I will just use the computer Or just pull it a little bit closer to us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it might make more sense to do that. Okay, I don't see Catherine as available. Here, I'm gonna change it over.
Past her time too.
Can you help me move this over?
Sure.
You can move it a little bit closer. I'm gonna change microphones just to see if that makes it easier for Sarah. Alright. And then we'll jump on with Sarah. So, let's see. I wonder if I can hear. Yep, that looks good. Sarah, can you hear us better now?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, great.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yes, thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Okay, good. Yeah, we had to just kind of figure out which microphone was going to pick up in here the best, and so I think that's going to be it right there. All right, Sarah. Well, we'll go ahead and jump in with you. It looks like we have somebody on for 6:15, and she's doesn't seem to be available right now. So we'll move forward with having you come in on the agenda.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you all. I'm so sorry I can't be there in person tonight.
That's okay. Thank you for joining.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. So I'm getting a little bit of feedback on my end, but I'm just gonna talk through it. Hopefully, everything is good there. Thank you. So this is in reference to the proposal, the request for proposals that the town issued for architectural and engineering services for the town hall accessibility project. I sent an email to folks toward the end of last week after the deadline for the proposals had passed. And the town received 2 proposals. Both of those were in the email that I forwarded to you. And the cost estimates, as you saw, were wildly different. One of them was, one of the companies, the WM company was based out of New Hampshire, Portsmouth, I think it was. And they were over $100,000, and the other firm, the abbreviation of which is GBB, was about $3,000 if we cut off the bidding and construction management piece of it.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Piece of their proposal that they had submitted to us. So there was a scoring rubric that we included in the request for proposals per state regulations, and we had gone over that together when the select board reviewed the request for proposals before it went out into the world. So I used that scoring rubric to go ahead and assign scores to the various criteria for each of the proposals, and came up with a total score of 88 for GBB and a total score of 71 for WM. I did have a number of questions.
Okay.
Well, after reading the GBB proposal, it was a little bit of a light proposal, didn't have all the information that we had asked for. So I do think that there's a follow-up that would need to be done with GBB, but I wanted to touch base with Selectboard and first of all get your feedback on what you thought of the proposals and scoring and sort of where we were.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's very interesting that the higher score was the much lower bid, which is a good thing. Which makes sense. And this too was to have it fit the time frame?
Yes, so GBB thought that they would be able to make the December completion date that the town had requested.
Okay.
I did build some flexibility into the RFP, just to give the town an option to extend the date of the contract if we so choose. Just as you know, timelines often get extended because of circumstances beyond our control, so I did build in that option. GBB did say we can get everything done by December.
Okay.
So we're talking all the architectural designs and the drawings associated with it.
So there's a little bit different.
All the architectural overview and the designs and the drawings associated with it?
I'm so sorry.
Is it,
Could you maybe repeat that?
all of the architectural designs and the drawings and everything associated with it would be available?
Would be available by December?
By
Is that
December?
the question?
Yes.
We should hear all of that.
Right, yes, so by December, we would have all the architectural work done. If there's engineering to be done, that would also be done. Basically, we would have construction documents ready by December that would be ready to go out to bid with.
It looks like GVV has more related experience to what they're providing are more of our Vermont historic buildings, where it looks like the other proposal is more just general projects. They don't look historic in nature.
Right, the New Hampshire firm did work on one building, I think that they told us about, but I think that was from the 1940s, that's what they were considering historic, so yeah.
Yeah.
That certainly seems like GDP has more experience with the kinds of buildings that we have in our small towns.
Yeah. I think it's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arnold and Skangus, an architectural firm that does a lot of historic preservation, have you worked with them?
I think I heard the question that, have we worked with GVB before, is that the
No.
question?
No, what's the name of the?
Arnold and Skangus.
Arnold and Skangus?
Arnold and Skangus.
Yeah. They're an architectural firm that's been
So
doing.
they did not submit a proposal.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there were just the two proposals that were submitted.
Yeah, I've worked with them for 30 years and they primarily do this.
This kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. I did reach out to them directly with the RFP and asked if they'd be interested, but they did not submit.
Okay.
I think this is a good
It seems like a fair number.
first step, yeah.
Yeah. If we're getting, well, the engineering will be on top of this, correct? You can't hear me.
The engineering,
Audio gets garbled beyond Kelly.
Sorry.
Something about the distance. there.
sorry, yeah, it's really hard to know. It should be coming right underneath here, but it's not apparently picking up very easily. What was the question?
The budgeting for the engineering is on top of this number?
The budget for the engineering is on top of this number. That's a really good question. So when I read through the proposal, it appears that they almost implied that engineering might not be needed for this project.
I wouldn't
I'm
think
guessing
so.
they're assuming that,
We're just talking the stairs.
I mean, I can only
handicap.
imagine that would be the case if
Yeah.
they didn't come up with a real solution for second floor access, but it is odd in the GBB proposal that they didn't say, oh, we've identified an engineering subconsultant and this is how much they would cost. So yes, engineering will be on top of this price, and that's one of the questions I have for GBB is, walk me through your thought process there and how much do you think engineering might add to this process?
Okay.
So is there a brief scope on the items that we're talking about here somewhere?
Right, so that's in the RFP document. I don't know if maybe Cheryl has easy access to that file.
We have it here.
The RFP is in their packet of
It's the top.
information.
the background?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you have the RFP in front of you, there's a scope of work that's actually to be done in the building, which is the very end of the document.
Oh,
And what we're asking for from, let me go there themselves.
it says for the floor space, single van parking spot. Designated sign, replacement of exterior ramp steps, beveled edge for the main entrance thresholds, raised door level, breezeway entrance doors and handles, elevator options for areas of reach, address safety issues at first floor egress in the back of the building, explore options for automatic. Yeah, the only engineering that I see that would be necessary here is the foundation for all of the exterior entrance, the handicap ramps. That was the miss when it was done before. There's no structural foundation work underneath any of our existing stairs or ramps. So should be pretty basic foundation work for that. I guess what I'm saying is I don't see that we're gonna have an engineering bill beyond this. You know, a good architect can draw that up properly.
Yeah.
So this budget of 23,000 is probably what we would see.
And that would be our exposure if we move forward with this.
Right.
And hopefully we'd be looking at getting funding for this, but if we don't get funding for this, we'd still need to.
So sorry, Kelly, was hard to.
I'm thinking out loud, Sarah. That's what so I kind of turned and spoke softly. I'm so sorry about that. I was just thinking, so if we were to move forward with this proposal, then we would need to immediately seek funding to have it in time. And if we don't get funding, then we would still be responsible for the 23,000.
So the town has already received the CDBG grant, right? So this is
We've
kind of
received
out of
it.
your CDBG
Oh, okay.
grant budget.
Yeah.
Okay, we've received that,
And we
okay.
had originally budgeted, in the grant, I'm just pulling it up here, we had originally planned for $29,000 for architecture and engineering work to get you to construction,
Okay.
bid ready status. So this is well within that sort of envelope that we had planned. And if you wanted to move forward with this, then the next step would be developing a contract, getting that signed, first getting the draft contract approved by the funder of it, the state, make sure that they're happy with the language, and then we would get that signed. And then the work would begin, and we would start requisitioning the funds pretty regularly, so that if something happens at the federal level and things shut down, obviously we've talked about this before, we don't want the town being left holding a large bill, right? So that would be the only financial jeopardy that I can think of associated with starting work. And again, I've not heard any communications from the state that existing grants are in jeopardy now.
Okay.
I also have not heard any updates from the state about whether they've actually put together that emergency fund that I was telling you all about, to cover expenses if the federal government explodes. So I can ask about that as well, try to get more information on that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think we should
Are we,
proceed.
I think we should proceed too.
Yeah.
okay. So, yeah, I think we should proceed with that. I mean, if, I make a motion to proceed.
I second that motion.
Okay.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
GBV.
Aye.
Okay. Sarah, I think we're good, Sarah, to move forward with this proposal and get the next steps going.
Okay, that's great. Are there specific questions that you would like me to ask GBE as I'm talking with them about contracting, et cetera?
I might need a little bit more time to read through. So, can I email you questions? Can we email you questions?
I think I heard, can I email you questions? Absolutely, yeah, if you all want to follow up with any questions you have, that'd be great, over email.
Okay.
Wonderful, thank you all so much. So I will keep you all apprised with any answers I get back to those questions from GBB. I also wanted to let you know that at the last meeting, we had taken a look at together at some draft language for getting some additional contractors on board for environmental review. So the select board approved language for soliciting services for archaeological review, for historic architectural review, and for toxics review, all of which is required as part of getting this kind of federal money. So I sent those things out to the world after we got select board approval. And I've already gotten a handful of responses for each of those categories. I've not reviewed those proposals yet. And I expect that a few more are going to be trickling in over the course of the next couple of weeks. So my hope is that at the next select board meeting, we can carve out some time to look at the draft contract with GBB, because at that point it will have been drafted and sent to you all for review. Look at that, hopefully get that signed. And then also take a look at the proposals for those additional services and make the decisions on those. How does that sound to folks?
That sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay, fantastic. Any other questions or concerns before I sign off?
No, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all so much.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you.
Good night.
You too. All right, it looks like we have Catherine on. Catherine? Oh, she was just there. Hello, Catherine?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, finally, I'm sorry, I had to
That's
sign off to come back in, I was here earlier, but it wasn't working.
It wasn't working great. Yeah, we saw you there and we weren't quite sure. We knew something was probably going on. So welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, appreciate that.
And I know that you were going to give us an update. And we wanted to have a discussion about the acquisition of the 2 conservation easements by the Department of Fish and Wildlife.
Yes, that's correct,
Okay.
yeah.
The parcels are
So,
where?
I work for the Agency of Natural Resources. And whenever the agency or department within the agency, Fish and Wildlife, acquires an interest in property, including the conservation easement, we typically ask for sign off from the town. The land acquisition in this case is related to the AT&T communications tower,
Okay.
which I think you're probably all very familiar with. It was an attempt to ensure that the community had access to cell coverage, and I think it was particularly important because of emergency issues. You know, there was really no cell coverage. I'm familiar with that. I live in Duxbury, and we have lots of blank spots in our town. And so
This meeting is being
there are
recorded
two,
and summarized.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
sorry, I'm getting a lot of feedback.
You're good. The meeting wasn't recording. I have an audio recording happening, but it was supposed to be recording. I apologize. It looks like it stopped recording earlier when I reset some things, so we just had to reset the recording. So I'm sorry about that, Catherine.
That's fine.
Sorry.
So there are 2 parcels, the Michael and Diane Aramon parcel, which is about 70 acres. And I can give you the stand numbers if you're interested. And then there's the Kenneth Gagnon parcel, which is consists of two span numbers, but it's about 32 acres. There will be conservation, the plan is to convey conservation easements to the Department of Fish and Wildlife. AT&T is sort of working through that process because it was a condition of their Public Service Board certificate of public good in order to approve the tower project.
Okay.
So, what I'm looking for from the town is, I wanted to give you the opportunity to ask the questions about the conservation easements, express any concerns, and, hopefully either approve, in your minutes, the land acquisition for the Department of Fish and Wildlife. Because the landowners will keep the property, and I understand that they're in current use, the taxes do not change in any way.
Okay. Okay. What questions?
Well, I think I'm a little further ahead with this.
Are you?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, good day. This is Mike Garamo here. I'm the landowner. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Can you hear me okay?
yes, I can barely hear you, I'm having a little trouble. Yeah,
Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
thank you. Yes,
So,
Yes, I can.
yeah, so I am Mike Garamo, the landowner. I'm currently one of the select board as well.
okay,
And so, just a little catch up for you. At this point, Gagnon has backed out. He does not want to participate.
okay,
And I guess you could ask him his personal reasons why. And the responses that we've got from A&R is that they want more than our land. They want Gagnon's property to allow the tower to to be installed. On top of that,
Okay.
as part of the MOU, we were supposed to have a seasonal residence on the property, and A&R came back and said that they don't want that on there either. So currently, the way it stands is A&R wants more property than what we have, even to allow this to happen. On top of that, they don't want us to have a seasonal residence there as well. So, I don't know, I think we're a little ahead of this discussion at this meeting, because
yeah,
it has not been settled. And I think we're still quite a ways away from that.
okay. That was not my understanding, but I will talk to the AT&T attorney.
Yes.
Because the last version of the easement that I reviewed allowed a seasonal residence.
No, they just changed that last week.
So, okay, all right. So I completely understand what you're saying. And I will have to go back to the
So just to bring,
staff. and work with them.
I want to be, entirely transparent on some negotiations. Initially we
I
had,
appreciate that.
yes, yeah, because what we're seeing is, so Forest Parks and Recs are currently, they just purchased a piece that runs parallel to Route 100. It runs along the White River from the Gulf south. And we're finding that Forest Parks and Recs just purchased that. They're not communicating with A&R on purchasing the land, because we're being asked to just give it up, and we're just over the hill. They're purchasing land. for the same reason. So Will Dodge
Okay,
Will Dodge did check in on that. So Will Dodge is up to speed, and he informed me of what I just shared with you. So
Okay.
our original suggestion was on this piece of property, there's a clear line on it there's a ledge line, and to the what would be to the west is on the Granville Gulf side. There's a clear line that we initially recommended that would be a portion. It's about half of the land that we put into conservation easement. Because yes, I perfectly agree that there's a lot of land in the state that needs to be conserved and should never be built on. Anyways, that was our first act to try to work with A&R. And that was rejected right away. They wanted all the property. Not only did they want all the property, but they wanted some of the neighbors to make this happen. So we, in fact, actually went ahead and communicated with some of the neighbors to see if some of the neighbors wanted to add in. And we're getting a hard no from the neighbors.
all right. Well, apparently I'm not up to speed, so I apologize for that.
Yeah.
But I will reach out to Will. I've worked with him a lot in the past. And we'll-
He's really he's very reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, he's a great guy.
And it's what we're seeing. We've worked with Rob Zano and Jacqueline and Grace. So we're trying here, but honestly, it feels like overreach. We've made offers that we thought were very generous, and that's just not happening. So we've communicated with
Okay.
Don Ihorn. I know Don very well. I play hockey with him for many years. So we're trying to be reasonable, but it doesn't. There appears to be pushback.
Okay. Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense, and I would agree that under the circumstances, it's totally premature. I'll
Yeah.
definitely go back and talk with both Don and Will, and see if, I'm sure Will get back to you. He's pretty good about communicating.
Right, Gunner.
So I apologize for taking up time without.
Right, Gunner has been to some of our meetings. Gunner Norm. He's the purchaser for Forests and Parks. He came to one of our select board meeting for the initial piece that's parallel to Route 100 and the White River. So,
Okay,
it's totally a separate thing, but I'm aware of that, where that piece of property is.
okay,
Okay?
all right. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thank you, Catherine.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you for joining. Okay, we have somebody else who has joined as well online, or calling in. I wanted to see if we could get that individual to let us know who's on. Looks like we have somebody. That's okay. We'll let them stay on. Okay. Next, it looks like we were going to try to have Brian call in at 6:45, but I'm not sure if that's Brian. Right. Okay, Catherine, I think we're good. If you want to jump off, you're good to jump off. You don't have to stay on. I think we're done. Are we done? Do you have any other? Oh, you have something else?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yep, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, I was gonna figure out who is calling in. I don't know if it's Brian, because he intended to call in at about 6:45.
Right, it might be.
Yeah, it's just an unverified call in, so I'm not sure if he's calling in or if that's somebody else calling in and they're just on hold. I wanted to let you know, I have a voice recording of the whole thing, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that on at the beginning of the video and just catch up with the video, so it might just be screen with video, with recording, but I've got the whole thing recorded, so,
Okay.
just so you know. I don't know how that happened, but we did have a couple people jumping in and jumping out, and I know I pressed record, it just didn't hold. Okay. All right. So, the next thing we have on here, other than visitors, is the draft flood regulations from Kyle Katz. And I don't know if you got these, Cheryl. Did you get the draft flood regulations from Kyle Katz? You didn't get those?
No.
So I printed out something, he sent them to us,
Okay.
and I think that he wanted us to, at this meeting, his intention was to have us decide on a date for a hearing. So he wanted us to review these. I think that was his next step, was to decide on a date for a hearing. And I can probably make everybody a copy of these. Why don't we hold, and then we can get back to him in the next couple of days, so that I have time to give you all a copy. Yeah, because he sent those over to us, but he sent like 4 copies. He sent a mocked up copy. He sent some maps,
Yep.
and I don't know if you two saw those.
They didn't.
You didn't know?
I know we talked a little bit about them,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay,
I just had a thought, for all of us,
yes,
and, maybe we start a half an hour early
okay,
and just have like a document review and catch-up time.
yeah. Because it's a lot for us to process right now. There's so much.
Well, yeah, it's to be responsible. It's like
Yeah.
we should take each document and we go together, review them together,
Yeah,
questions back and forth
yeah,
before we really have to. Just give us a little more time to digest them and make good decisions.
yeah,
If we're making decisions for the people here,
yeah.
yeah, just in the future.
I agree with that. I think that that's a great idea. Because we do have a lot of stuff, and I feel like, I don't know if this is the normal, or if this is just a lot of stuff because of the time of year. Do we
Well,
normally
then-
have this many
No,
things?
no, everything is coming due now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all.
One was on you.
Well, I've got,
Since you showed up.
so we got all this work to do. Well,
File
I
crap.
literally, like, my email every day is like one after another. I don't know, and I see lots of people copied and CC'd on everything,
Yeah,
but
but
I don't know who's getting
yeah.
what, and,
Yeah, my life is too busy.
Yeah.
I mean, I have
Yeah.
6
Oh, it's
other
okay.
people that I need to be communicating with on items
Yeah.
similar to this.
all
There's
day.
a lot of stuff that we've been talking about
Yeah,
previously is all starting to
Come
To
together.
fruition.
Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just,
Right.
you know, and it's about being able to review it and having enough time to make good decisions for everyone involved. For
Yeah.
the people that are drafting it, for the
Yeah.
decisions that we have to make, and,
I kind of think we need more than a half an hour.
yeah.
Especially like with, right now, we have so many things
Yeah.
that we need to look at, and if we're gonna.
So, I mean, I don't know how much of this we can do tonight, and if we need to do another night to make sure that
Yeah.
we do a good job of it.
Well, we should make a decision on a date for the flood regulations, but we should review those first. And so that's where I'm thinking maybe we need to hold a special session. We could warn a special session for like next week.
Yeah, I'm just putting it out there for us to, yeah, there's a lot here.
Yeah,
Well, typically you review it at home and then bring your
Yeah,
recommendations to
Yeah.
the meeting.
yeah, I don't think that
discuss
really happens.
those.
there was so much to work through.
Because part of your review of those documents is accounted for as the town's in-kind
Yes,
contribution to the grant, so that we don't have to come up with the money to cover it.
yes,
So there's a lot of homework that you have to do outside the meeting.
Yes.
is what I'm trying to say.
I think, and that's where I think too, like, I spent a good amount of time over the weekend reading through stuff. And then also the 4 documents that came through from Kyle Katz and getting it together and printing it off today. So, like getting it to all that stuff. And the reality is,
If
there's
he had
that
sent
and
it to me, I could have
Brian.
done all of that.
yeah, I thought that more, other people were on it. I just don't know who else was on it. I thought he
Right.
sent it to everybody, but I guess not. I don't know why he would just send it to me. Gosh darn it. That's irresponsible of him. Just kidding. But then we also had from Brian what he was gonna talk to us about, the enhanced energy plan, which I printed, but I don't see it here for everybody. Right? So that was another one. So there's a couple of things here that I know he was gonna jump on and talk to us about, but we don't have the report. So I think we have so many things right now that we need to get together and take time to just really make sure that we're all on
Yeah,
the same page.
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, what-
Instead of just trying to run through these.
Yeah,
It's like it's our responsibility to make good decisions on this information.
Yeah.
Some stuff we can, but some of it needs a little more time.
yeah, like with
Yeah.
Sarah, that was fine. We had
Yeah.
enough information from Sarah.
Yeah.
But why don't we move to have a special session? Is there a day that might work for us to get together after work next week? We'll have time to warn the meeting.
Not Thursdays for me.
Not Thursdays.
Not Thursdays. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Any one of them is fine.
I could do Monday, I could do Tuesday.
Tuesday might be better.
It shouldn't make that much difference to me.
Are you sure? Yeah, if we could plan an hour,
Yeah.
just an hour, special session hour for us to come together. If anybody wants to come in, they can come in if they want to, but
Sure.
we're just gonna warn it that we're gonna have a special session for document review.
Right. That'd be really
Yeah,
good.
be just say a work session and list off the documents that you're gonna be reviewing and nothing else will be
Yeah.
discussed.
Okay,
It'd almost be
And
nice.
just post that and you don't have to record it or anything, it's a
Okay.
work meeting.
a work session. Well, we would have to make some decisions because we do have to though.
You can do that at another meeting.
We can't wait till another meeting for the draft flood regulations.
You have to have
He wants us to make a decision on a special meeting and then have it all ready to approve at the next select board meeting.
So we can't get him right now?
Not Kyle.
No.
Kyle wasn't available. He didn't ask for time on our agenda either. So this is one that I think that we
Plow
need
through
to.
that one and then just
Yeah.
try to,
Yeah.
Let me make a copy for everybody.
Yeah.
It's really long.
Yeah. I mean,
yes, I don't know if it needs to be done, we'll get it.
I would prefer.
it's all new floodplain regulations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would prefer that.
And it'd be nice to really, for me, if I'm putting my name on something, I wanna know it.
Yeah, yeah. So I think I don't even want to do that because I'm fine to just hold a special.
Kelly has somebody trying to come on.
Oh, Brian's here. Yeah, we'll let him in. He was going to talk at 6:45. So we'll let him go in just a second. But yeah, so I think we should hold an off cycle meeting. If anybody wants to come in, they're free to come in. If they don't want to come in, they don't have to come in. I'm happy to record it.
Yeah.
But just as long as we have time to spend to read through this and give an educated next step.
Yeah, because if we're here and we're reading them together, and we make notes to each other on anything that we're picking up,
Yep,
then that note can then be part of, that could be the answer later on.
that's right.
But we're making a responsible answer and we're giving it the right amount of time.
Yeah, and then that way too, we don't have anything else on our agenda.
Yeah.
We don't have to approve any payments, we don't have to do anything
Right.
else.
Yeah.
If there's anything
Yeah.
else, we can just focus on
Yeah, I
that.
think in the long run, we're gonna like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
To
so,
make sure we feel like we're not running over something. But yeah, things
So
obviously.
we need to have an actual meeting where we can decide on that document.
Well, yes,
Not just a review of it,
well,
so
it
we can make a decision to push forward with it.
yeah, that's where I think
Yeah.
if we say we're gonna be here for 1 hour next week, we can come a little bit early if we want to, but in the meantime, we can get copies and take them with us, so we have a firm copy,
Yeah.
and we can be ready for that time. And then anything else that we need to oversee that we're not comfortable with moving on,
Mm-hmm.
then we can table that for that meeting as well. So, yeah, I think that on the draft flood regulations, I move that we table it for a special session to be held at 6 p.m. Tuesday, the 20th?
20. Okay.
Is it Tuesday the 20th? Is that right? Or the 19th? The 20th?
Tuesday's the 20th.
Tuesday the 20th?
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. What time?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay.
All right. You second that? To table?
Second.
All right, all in favor of tabling it? Sounds
Aye.
good.
I,
We're good. All right, we have Brian on. Brian, can you hear us?
Hello?
Brian, hello? Can you hear us?
Hey,
All right, hi, Brian.
I can barely hear. I can't make out a lot what you're saying.
You can barely hear us? Okay.
Yeah, and it also sounds like there's feedback in the room too.
I wonder if you shut
Okay.
that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try to, give me just a second. I'm going to try to do something here.
When there's two speakers, that's
It
when
does.
feedback happens.
It is, it's very,
Yeah.
see, I need to get, bear with me for a second here.
Better.
Yeah, I'm just in a weird, I do not know how to make this, see, when it's recording, I can't go back to this. I can't make it small. I can't move it. I can't do anything with it. Maybe, maybe not. Nope. I can't do anything with it when it's recording. Yes, I can. And it's still recording. We're going to change over the audio. Give me just a second to see if this is going to work better.
This does sound a lot better.
That's working?
How about now? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We're just going to move over to a different audio. That way you don't get feedback. And it might sound better. You might hear us better. All right, is that better?
Yeah, it sounds like there's going to be some feedback though.
It still sounds like feedback? We have everything just on the internal microphone and speakers from the laptop now. We're not using any exterior devices.
Yeah, someone in the room might have a device that's emitting sound that's being picked up by the microphone.
Yeah. Mine's off.
Yeah, I think everybody's is off now.
Have to make do then.
Yeah, we have an echoey room, so we are in this big chamber and it echoes, so I apologize. All right, so we can move to you now if you want to go ahead.
What was that? Sorry.
If you want to go ahead, Brian, we're ready for you.
Okay. Yeah, it's echoey again.
Okay, we can hear
I can
you.
actually.
So if you want to go ahead,
You can
that's
hear.
fine. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So this is just to pick up the discussion that from last time when we reviewed the results from the survey. So you guys decided you wanted to do a forum inviting the people who participated in the survey to come and give more feedback. That's fine, but we do need to actually plan out that forum if we're going to do it. So I have my calendar open. I can start looking into what dates might be best. If a majority of the select board is going to be there, that will count as a select board meeting. So it has to be warned as a select board meeting. So that's up to you. If only maybe one or if only like a representative from the select board wants to be there, or if the entire select board wants to participate in it. So that's the first thing I need to know.
What do we think?
For which?
The transportation survey, we were going to
Yeah,
pull,
I think we should review that, yeah,
we wanted to pull all of the people who responded to come in for like a focus group.
yeah,
Do we all want to be part of that and have it a warned meeting?
I think we should, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we want to have that as a warned meeting and pull all those people who responded to come in, encourage them to come in and talk with us as a focus group.
Yeah, sorry, I really didn't catch any of that.
I said that we would like to encourage them to come in and speak with us as a full quorum with all of us and have a
Yep.
warned meeting.
Okay. We're gonna warn the meeting. We would need to settle on a date and a venue.
I think here in our town hall.
I think that would be the best venue.
Yeah. And date.
Get it towards the latter part of May. Are there any dates that would work or not work for everyone?
In May?
May. We have Memorial Day as the 26th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We could also look at doing it in the first week of June, maybe.
First week of June.
First week of June.
First week of June.
I could do June 2nd or 4th.
Second won't work for me.
Okay.
I have another meeting that night. The fourth, I'm available.
4th is a Wednesday.
9th?
The 9th?
Be here already.
We'll be here already. That's a select board meeting. Should we do it in unison or do we
No, it'd be too much.
too much?
Too much? Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of suggestions and questions and,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's important, yeah, it should be all on its own.
What about Wednesday the 4th?
Yep, as long as it isn't too early. I know where I am and I know what my obligations are, and I'm gonna have a full day.
A full day? Then let's.
Both the first 2 weeks in June, are full days, so can't be early, that's all.
What about the last week in May?
Yeah, well, I'm starting at Middlebury College, the Monday after Labor, the Tuesday after Labor Day.
So you're going to be busy.
Yeah, yeah. So as long as it's later in the day, I'm okay. Just it's not,
Like
you know. And I'm
6
sure
p.m.
everybody else, it probably would make sense that it's, say 6 o'clock or something like that.
6 o'clock's good for me. What do you think? 6 o'clock? The 4th? 6 o'clock on the 4th.
What's that? 6 o'clock on the 4th?
Yes.
Okay. That works for me. Okay. In terms of the actual event itself, then, I would imagine it'd be kind of a focus group environment. I could create some questions to ask people. I wouldn't want to present anyone's actual individual results to the group, especially not in a way that's like traceable to what they've said. But I could draft up a quick sort of like summary of the survey results. Also, we did get one more survey result mailed today, so we're up to 13.
Okay.
So yeah, I can do a kind of a quick analysis to start it off, ask a couple of questions. I think a good goal of this would be also to provide feedback from the town's perspective on some of these projects, the feasibility of them, for instance, grant funding opportunities, which I can provide some context about, especially V-Trans grants. But I think, a goal of this would be to try to have a project or two projects that the town would want us to work on, or that the residents would want us to work on.
Okay. Okay.
But independent of the results of a forum, we can also just think, as a select board, as you're thinking about roadway projects you're working on or the transportation projects you're working on, are there any that we can assist with our time on this grant? There's a good variety of things that have come back from the survey results. So there's support for a couple different kinds of projects. But it's important to think about that too.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, other than the people that filled out the forms, are we looking for any more townspeople to be involved?
Sorry, what's that?
Are we looking for more townspeople to be involved other than those who filled out the survey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this could still be open to more people than just the ones who participate in the survey, but we can definitely advertise it to them directly if we have their contact information.
Okay.
We could also, I don't know if you can easily put it up on the town website, a flyer inside the town office. I think that would be a pretty good way of advertising.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. We'll do that.
Yeah, I can make a flyer too.
Okay. We can put it on the town website. We can make a flyer and then notify those people and encourage them to bring a friend too, if they're interested. Right?
Friend, whole family, everyone.
Bring them down.
Is there anything else right now that you guys have for me, questions-wise?
I don't think so.
No, I think we're good. I think that's great. Thank you for helping us move this along.
Yeah, that's no problem. I mean, ultimately, we do need to think about one or two projects to prioritize with this grant time we have. And that will also be the most priority project should also be the one that you will use your sub-award on.
Mm-hmm.
So there is about $15,000, a little over $15,000 that can go towards planning studies or engineering studies for any sort of transportation project. So we do need to nail down exactly what we're going to spend that on and then work to create a budget around that.
Okay. I think we're doing it the right way.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, all right. I don't have anything else. But thanks, everyone. Sorry for all the technical difficulties you're dealing with.
It's okay. We'll get it. We'll iron it out. It's our first one, so it's fine.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Brian.
Yep, thank you.
All right.
All right. Take care, everyone.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, that's a good chunk of money for planning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one other thing we were talking about grants and things. Rita Sato had emailed us on the 23rd, or on the, April 25th.
Yes.
And for our V-Trans grants and aid program addition code, we need to sign up for that. Did she send you the paperwork for
Is it
that?
here?
Folder,
It's in the folder
It's in the folder?
it's in the folder,
for signature
Okay.
yeah.
for the letter of intent to participate in the fiscal year 26 municipal roads grants and aid program. Okay.
Alright, it just came to mind, I just was thinking about it.
Yep,
Yes.
Thanks.
yep, you're welcome.
You gotta say it. You gotta say it when it shows up. Boink.
Yes.
That was on my last
Sometimes I
meeting.
get an idea, it's like,
I want that though, static electricity.
yeah.
All right.
Anyways,
Yeah. All good,
So
all good.
we don't have anybody here from the planning commission. We heard that there's two more people that want to be named to the planning commission, but we don't have their information. Did we get anything from Will?
He just said, yeah, that he has 2 people and
Working on them?
he's just returned from the Highlands of Scotland, so.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
a long way to go.
He was headed there the
Who's
next
that?
day at our last meeting we had here.
Who's that?
Will Brookoff?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he just got back from the Highlands yesterday,
They
so.
did mention 2
Okay.
people, I don't remember the names now.
I know who they are, but
There's still.
We can't name them until
Exactly.
Right.
he presents them for us
until
to,
he officially says.
and they say, I absolutely want to do it.
Right.
I know that we were looking at the cemetery commission appointment for Vic Parish, but are we certain that,
Yes, she definitely,
okay,
and they definitely want her,
Did somebody step down?
Scott,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
so this is for, what is the term?
It's to fill in for the last year of Scott's term
So-
until town meeting.
It's 1
Okay.
year.
So
So-
from now until town meeting.
Move to make Vic Parish the replacement member of the cemetery commission for the remainder of Scott Sargent's term through the end of,
Until town meeting.
until town meeting
Yeah.
2026.
6, yeah.
Yes.
So I move to,
I'd second that motion.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Vic Parish is official.
Anybody who volunteers, come.
Yep.
I did want to share, I brought this to share with everybody. It's a consulting engagement agreement for Sharon Stearns for training for Nancy. And I just wanted to talk through that really quickly. I know I brought it up last round, but the idea is that she will work for us. Basically, if she does bookkeeping work, it's $90 per hour. If she does anything over and above that, so high level, which would be like, looking at us, at our books like a controller or a consultant, it's $110 per hour, which is, going rate for this is about $200 an hour, so it's a pretty good rate. I would say if we were to get like a Gallagher Flynn in here, it'd be $210 an hour. So she has experience with municipal bookkeeping. She is so basically, if you go to the QuickBooks website, she's like a QuickBooks master. So she's certified to clean up and review.
Leagues and cities and towns have any funding available for that by chance?
What's that?
Do leagues and cities and towns have any funding available?
There's not, no, and they don't have a resource that would
Ah.
do this level of
I'm
work.
just curious, I know they do some trainings.
They
probably.
they do municipal accounting training, they do like gap training,
Right,
or
right.
things like that, but they do not have anybody that could come in and like
Probably,
clean up
yeah.
the books, train Nancy,
Is
do all
she
of that stuff.
familiar with the backwoods accounting program that we have here?
She is QuickBooks, yeah, she's a
With
QuickBooks.
the cash accrual?
Yes, the what is it, the combined cash accrual,
Yeah.
municipal.
whatever It is.
She is, and she definitely is looking through, she's one of the handful of people that would be helpful for what we need uniquely
Yeah.
here. She's very busy, so she has limited availability, but she can make time. Likely, I think she can give us some good time in June to do like a starter, like cleanup for the end of the fiscal year and get Nancy on the right track for the new year and then do some hours into the new year. And my assessment with her rates would be, and she may come here, but she may not come here. She may do it all electronic, like they can
Remotely,
interface
yeah.
remotely.
Yeah, yeah.
She lives over in Brandon, so she's not very far away. And so my assessment would be up to probably $2,000 this fiscal year and $2,500 in the new fiscal year will get us to a point where we should be good with a set of clean books and Nancy having an overview and like a document to reference when she has bookkeeping questions is the goal. And if we're good with that, I just wanted to get approval, because it's not necessarily in budget, but we need,
Yeah, we've talked about this before, that it needs some cleaning up.
it needs cleaning.
Right.
I think it's a great idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think it's probably gonna be money well spent.
okay, so I wanted to move to approve essentially this fiscal year up to $2,000, next fiscal year up to $2,500. If it goes beyond that, I don't think it will, but if it does, then we'd have to meet again and talk about it. I believe it's gonna be less than that, but
I would think so. Yeah.
that's
We'll
maximum.
make a motion to approve
Okay.
$2,000 to hire Sharon Stearns.
Sharon Stearns, that's the, where I'm gonna say, we will go to that. So while she has an hourly rate, we're not gonna go over that amount. All in, like with her hourly rate, and if she has any travel or any of that kind of stuff, I'm gonna cap it at that this fiscal year.
So it might not be that.
It might not be that,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure it's not in bad shape, it's just a matter of everyone getting caught up with,
Getting caught up, she's also gonna go through the chart of accounts and remove things, so that isn't even a usable account anymore,
you know,
you know.
That would be a good thing, I think.
Yeah, cause right now we've
Make it
got
more,
3 different, like, you look in there, and there's like 3 accounts that are named the same thing, and they all have the same number, but they all have a different number in them, and they're in a different spot.
just put everything in Carl Morris.
Everything is in Carl Morris.
Yeah.
That's the one that's, like, everything says Carl Morris, and it like has the same number, but then it's like Carl Morris one thing, and then inverted, and then they both have a different amount in them, and you're like, how can that be?
no.
How can it even be?
Yeah. Oh, we need help with that,
Yes.
for sure.
And it's, you know, as we talked about before, it's long history of multiple people doing different things in the system, so it's not,
Well, it's always good to have the transparency where
yeah.
someone else is directing this cleanup.
Yep, and there's also potential for her helping with audit in the future. I
Yeah.
mean, she'll go through and do this,
Okay.
but if we needed a independent auditor of any kind ever in the future, she knows people that,
Yeah,
you know, we could potentially get in with, because I know in the past when we've had a third-party audit, it's been expensive, and it wasn't
Right.
necessarily hopeful. But if we hit a point again where we make a decision to do a third-party audit, Sharon knows auditors that she could reference for a reasonable price for a small municipality, so I think that's good too. Okay, so you made a motion,
second it.
okay, all in favor?
Right.
Aye, okay, we're good, okay, I'm gonna work this out, I'll sit down with Nancy, we'll talk about the maximums, we'll make a budget, and then we'll make it happen. Thank you. All right. We have next, we have Daniel here. Do we wanna go to executive session now? We told him approximately 7:30, if he's early. Oh, we're waiting for, we're waiting for Henry. We'll wait for Henry, is that okay?
Yep,
Okay.
that is fine.
Okay, so, open town grant discussion and updates. This was, let's table that for our discussion next week. And I say that because we have a lot of emails going around. We have, here it is, I knew it was here. I don't know if we wanna get in any deeper than these, but we have basically an update. Municipal Energy Resiliency Planning, Better Backroads Grant, MTAP grant, Local Hazard Mitigation Grant, CDBG grant. So we have this, but we also have proposals. Out.
I guess the first one, Better Back Roads Grant for Butts Road
Mm-hmm.
has already been,
That's been approved, that's gonna happen, so I scheduled.
It's scheduled, just need to get a hold of the people and
Find out when they're gonna start.
find out when they're gonna start.
Yeah.
This is project end date of 2027.
They wanted to, which one was that?
Oh, the other Better Back roads,
That's
okay.
Yeah, that one is the road inventory.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Oh,
I think
I see what you mean.
probably just give those people a call and ask them when they're gonna start.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're just like everybody else, they're trying to rig themselves out and pick up the pieces and get going again.
Yeah,
right. And Kelly, that's a list of the grants, that's not the contracts.
yeah,
I've never been asked to do a list of contracts. If
Okay.
you want one, I can do that. That'd be separate, cause the grants, we have to request reimbursement from the state, that's why we're tracking them.
okay. I think that's good. I think that while I'm included on a lot of emails that bump around, I don't know where we're at if I'm not on something. So there's a lot of stuff that I still don't have. We don't have like a central space where everything's held, where we can all kind of go into and look at stuff, you know, so, I would say that maybe by the next meeting, if we could get something together so we all have something to look at and say, where are we at in, like, if we have something in bid process, if we're working with Two Rivers on something, I only know what they've joined our meetings on. I don't know anything outside of that, because I don't really have like a master document. So if we could make a master document, that would be
Yeah,
helpful.
that'd be helpful, right. Yeah.
Right, well,
Yeah.
and with the big one that Sarah's working on for us for the
Yeah.
town hall,
The ADA,
that's through the GEARS program.
that's the, okay. And that one is not here.
That's the CDB,
Oh, that's the CDBG, okay.
yep, that's that huge one,
Yeah, okay,
that,
the 60,000.
that's on hold.
We're waiting because it's a federally funded grant,
Correct.
and we're hoping that they'll say, release
Right.
it and give us the funds.
Yep, and right now the state has a pot of federal funds that they're holding, that's why we're able to go forward with the ADA.
With the first proposal, the first RFP. What, that's why we're doing it, 'cause we know.
It's outside of the CDBG
Okay.
grant,
Okay.
it's the ADA grant.
Yeah, if we could, even if we had time or something to sit down, maybe we could get some time to go through and just go, okay, here's what we have, or here's
Yeah.
what's in play.
Yeah.
Because even, you know, I'd even like to have something that says like wish lists, which would be like the grants, you know, that we're looking for
Exactly.
funds for the fire department, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I want to have a good idea of like, okay, if this is in the wish list, then that doesn't mean it's real
Exactly.
until it's real.
Right.
Okay,
So if we
so
want to
you
look for
need a
real
5-year
funds,
You need a 5-year plan.
well, a
Yeah.
2-year plan.
Yeah.
A 2-year would be great. No, if we had something that just did that, that way, if we see an opportunity, we can say, that's a wish list grant, it's not necessarily gonna happen, this is more of a real deal, let's jump on it.
It's about setting priorities.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
and then if we're in a position to say, like, look over here, here's something where we can get money tomorrow and make progress on the fire department, like, let's get money and make progress on the fire department, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
whatever that may be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause I think that's where I kinda wanna make sure that we've got the organization of it. So, yeah, if,
Okay,
maybe we could,
yep, I can, set up charts and.
on the 4th of June, you'll be open, and you'll be here. I have a doctor's appointment that morning, so I can come here after my doctor's appointment and before our transportation meeting. So let's sit down that day and like just spend time together, if you have time, that afternoon.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. Yep, we can do that.
Okay. So that is good. And I don't think we have any So let's get more information before we, I mean, this gives us a good idea, but let's work on getting
Yeah.
more comprehensive information by the next meeting.
Yeah, it's about what's priority, what's happening, what schedules, or when are they
Yeah.
happening, and all of that, right? So you
Yeah.
have some sort of a timeline and flow.
And who's in play, yeah,
Exactly. You gotta
Yeah.
give like a flow chart.
yep, flow chart,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
We do,
a Gantt, we need a Gantt.
we do need to, put that other job, advertise for that other, grant job for, grants and needs for North Hollow. Could put that in paper too.
Again, you know
You
what,
got
again, that should be part of like, for all of us anyways, that should be part of same thing, like a flow chart.
Right.
So it's easy for
I
us to
mean, that-
scan through them, and say, okay, this is,
Yep,
yeah.
okay,
I think that grant that we already have
Give us a quick outline and
through,
the scope and dollar amount.
I'll have to give a read on that project, but
Okay.
again, but
Yep.
it's for, we want the extra one, the other one we had from North Hollow, then we had, or from, Butts Road, then we had one for North Hollow that we were gonna advertise later on in the year. And
Is
needs
this-
to be advertised.
is this up by Parker's, that area you're talking about?
No, that one is on the wish list.
Yeah,
Okay.
see. Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
It's
yeah.
on the wish
So, yeah,
list.
creating one of those wish lists,
But the other one is
float,
up
yeah.
by, north of your place, called in between, then up through by Smiling Joe's and along up through there, change more culverts and more ditching.
Yeah, I mean, that all seems to be pretty good shape up through there, really.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Across from Siobhan's is pretty, there's some culverts in there that are, I'll have to get with Rita on that, I don't.
Yeah, just above Siobhan's driveway, there's a settling area, there's a spring or something in there. Okay.
Okay.
But that, I mean, should be, we should advertise that because I think that has to be done by September. Then again,
and that's for, it's an ad for like a,
it's for the, like I said,
For a,
it's a ditching and culvert job.
so we would post
It's
that
either
for a
Better
bid,
Back Roads or it's Grants and Aid, I can't remember which.
and it's for a bid,
Yes,
Has the scope been written yet?
I believe so. I'm looking for the email here. But that, I mean, that can get with the, here it is. North Hollow. The Better Back Roads grant.
Yeah.
That's the picture of it.
okay.
Of the section?
Yeah.
That looks good. Can we all get that?
Can you forward that?
Back to us?
Did we get that? I don't remember seeing that.
You might have, no, you didn't. You wouldn't have gotten that, but, there's, yeah, I can forward that.
Yeah, forward it to us so we can review that.
That was 12/17/2024.
Yeah, you guys have that printed.
Yeah. Print that out for Tuesday. Just have everything here, just some extra time.
Yeah.
Better
Yes.
Back Roads grant? Could have pictures of all those too. Before and after, during rather.
All right. So Anything else on grants? Any questions? We good?
I think we're all good.
We're all good?
Other
Okay,
than I'll figure this out and I'll forward it to you and
okay.
we'll get,
Forward that to us, and we can review that with the rest of our kind of things we need to review at the Tuesday special session. And then, yeah, I think that I will work with Cheryl. We can work together on kind of saying, here's what would be helpful to see. We can create some type of a updatable document so that as we have things moving through,
Yeah.
we can kind of see where it's at and who's
Yeah.
responsible for it, and
Mm-hmm.
do a project chart.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we're doing it bits and pieces here.
Yeah.
And it can disappear.
It can, and I think that way
Yeah.
too, if we have something that, like, maybe she and I can share, have like a shared document, and then go back and forth, maybe even like Google or something like that, so that when you update or I update it, we can both see it, and we kind of go back to that, and then at each meeting, we can just like print off the most recent version of it. That would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's easy to go back to, and when something's done, it's done, and then that
Right.
can come off, you
Right.
know. Okay, we'll do it. June 4. We'll work together on okay. Executive session.
there, all right.
Are we good?
Yeah, good.
You sent
I got
it?
her figured out.
All right. Executive session. Do we shut everything off for executive session? Do we just leave it running and go to executive session?
Totally up to you.
Do we leave it going?
I don't know.
This is my first executive
Really?
session.
You're supposed to be in there for half an hour.
At most? Or
That-
total?
That's what you've scheduled.
Oh, I did?
Mhm.
Okay. I said about 30 minutes at 7:30. Did I schedule a half an hour? I don't know. I think
You'll
I
have to
did.
go outside.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah, why don't you,
That's right.
why don't you step outside?
Just step outside
Yeah,
for a minute.
yeah. Then we can hold it in here.
Or
Yeah.
could we step into the other room?
We could.
You can't have it recorded.
Yeah,
Can't record executive.
yeah, we can, that's what I was saying.
That way we're not kicking them
Let's
out.
just leave it going.
You have to announce.
We'll go, I'll
what
take it
you're
out.
doing,
Okay,
who's
Go
gonna
catch a
go in
speeder or
there,
two.
okay,
Sorry, I'm
what
not
you're
in
gonna
for it.
discuss,
okay.
Colin yesterday.
and
Yesterday,
then
yeah.
come out and
62
then,
miles an hour through here.
nothing.
62?
No
63
action
from
No
were
Woodstock. She
taken.
was doing
action
almost
taken,
70.
Okay.
She's doing 70 down by
Just
Bagby's.
discussed and.
Okay.
Just getting
Okay,
slow up
we are
too much.
going
Just getting
to
wound up.
executive session
60,
officially at 7:35 PM, and we will return at no later than 8:05 PM to go into special executive session with Dan Sargent and Henry Webb, I know this, and the three of us on the select board to discuss just some questions and discussion about the Granville Fire Department, Granville Volunteer Fire Department. All right.
You guys are all back home. We're staying here. Okay.
You can stay here.
Fine. The light's still working now. Last I knew.
There you go. Throw it up. Ugh.
Go downstairs again and see if there's another one of those things. I think that one came from downstairs. That
Oh, I know,
power strip.
yep,
Because it was had to be long enough or something.
yep.
But some of the school stuff is left behind down.
Yeah, that's true.
Why not use them? So I'll take a look again. Plus I'll double check, see if that light's still pointing.
Yep.
sir. Or what the issue was.
Oh, that should do it, I would think.
Another one.
It's there, so if you could put it.
Yeah, looks like, oh yeah. Assuming this strip works.
Light comes on, that's a start.
Yeah, there's one more down there too, so
Oh, okay.
we came across.
There we are.
Yeah, the light's still blinking down there. I was looking to see if there's any way you could reset the thing, but it must be something they've got to do, because
Right,
out there at the generator, everything seems to be fine,
okay.
so. So I looked when I first came in too, to see if it was still doing what it's supposed to, so.
Yeah,
I was tempted to go around and see if it would just start, but you said it started earlier,
yeah,
so.
it came on for the test and
So-
ran all the way through.
So I get a feeling that if power went out, it'd probably kick in.
Right.
There we go, all right, that problem's solved.
Yeah, because when I hit the button there Thursday,
Yep.
it wouldn't come on
Yeah.
at all. That's when she said, well, the battery's probably dead.
And that's what happened. What it is there's a plug, just like you got in the wall there, that has the ground fault.
Yeah,
Is it reset?
yeah.
I reset it, it reset. And there's
Oh.
2 cords plugged into it. Have to do with that system.
Uh-huh,
And they both are plugged into it.
yeah,
Once I reset it, the little green light for the battery charger came on. It's only a low voltage charger, so
yeah,
it must have overnight charged it without a problem apparently.
right, yeah,
It's good. All right. Well, folks. Boy, there's some deep ditches back here. Holy crap.
Oh, yes.
Dug some holes in that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that until they mowed the lawn, I guess, but
Yeah.
my brother mentioned something about the plow guy dug it up with his tractor or something or other.
Yeah, I guess he came down with a bucket.
Bucket
over
or
it.
something, yeah. Yep.
I got the septic cover
Oh, fixed, I see that. It's
fixed,
done, yeah.
yep,
Oh,
yep.
yeah. I met Alan Jackson yesterday.
No.
The Alan Jackson that lives in Granville.
Oh,
I was running up on the back hall, so I met him on Town Line Road.
okay,
And his friend saw him, his dad drove it. You realize they bought Sam Eller's place.
yep,
So,
Yeah.
he was telling me that Joseph's in the mental health institute right now, I guess, so.
good.
He's got one at last, so.
Right.
Because he said he had several animals up there, spiders and snakes going on, he
Yes.
decapitated them all, killed them all. That's what he was telling me anyway, yeah. He's saying there was troopers all over the place, that were rolling all over, and so, yeah, gotta be a dangerous person,
Yeah.
so.
Mm,
But yeah, so I gave me his card, and I gave him my card.
yeah,
I started wearing them still in transition, because the sheriff's department now is gonna wear an external vest, stay
okay,
under your shirt.
yeah.
So that's mandatory, that's gonna be our uniform, but the one they bought me is too long.
Hmm?
I told them it's too long.
Yeah,
Now he wants to go over and prove it, basically. So I've got one that I got from Windsor County,
okay.
it was the wrong color, so I ended up getting another one, because the one I got's black.
Oh,
supposed to be blue.
blue, yeah.
So I ended up with a free carrier, which is a nice one. But it's about the right height for me, it's still not great,
Mm-hmm,
but if they're too low, then the belt, the gun and all that, whenever you do anything, it brings the vest up.
pushes it up and,
So
okay.
the problem I was having with the sheriff was just putting it on, it was this high up in the air. And it goes up when you sit down, even more, of course, it's not gonna work, so.
Right.
When I got shorter, it's a different, it's a better one anyway, in my opinion. So I'm gonna see if you'll just let me wear that one. Because I can just change the badge and the Velcro on the back of it.
Oh, nice,
So you can just do it that way, because
Yeah.
eventually I wanna mount my taser on it.
yeah,
So I'll have that here, or minimum maybe my radio, because the radio sticks out enough so when in my car it hits the door. and-
Yep, yep.
So I might put a few things up here, plus it takes it off my hips,
Mm-hmm.
that extra weight,
Yep,
so.
Yep.
That's why a lot of them are going over to those, but,
gotcha.
so, yeah, the teacher class, I'll tell them when we get their thing anyway, next month. $900 it costs, it's a 2-day class.
Wow, is that in New York State?
No, it's in Vermont.
Oh.
Barry, first time in a long time.
Oh,
In
wow.
fact, I gotta miss the last 2 days of school because it's when it's scheduled. It's
Mm.
12th and 13th, it's the last week of school. I told my bosses, it's either that or I've gotta go to Maine, New York, or wherever, and that's a lot more money.
Right, right.
I gotta have it, and they changed the training, so it's even longer, so like say now it's 2 days,
Yeah.
plus online stuff as well.
Mm.
So, I'm not really looking forward to it, it's gotta be done to keep my certification up.
Yep.
Well, that's what I tried to get them to pay for my verbal de-escalation training, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
$95, but
Yeah.
in fact, I gotta change that, cause it's listed under Orange County, which I paid it, but it's under Orange County, that's the old email,
Mm.
because I thought they were gonna pay for it, so.
Yeah.
I have to go into that group now and say, oh, bring me back to Granville Constable, the hell with it, but at least he's paying for I gotta recertify it for the taser, so if he
Mm.
wasn't paying for that, I don't have nothing in my budget for that.
Right.
So, it's like,
Right.
well,
Yeah.
I got the radar trailer at home, there too, and that needs more work than I thought, so.
Uh-oh.
Well, paint wise, I was like, I
Okay.
just painted it last year,
Right.
it's starting to rust again, I was like, that's why.
Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
So I'm wondering, I wanted to ask him, like, what he keeps in his barn down there. If he keeps calcium or anything in there,
Oh.
that could affect it,
Yes.
because now we keep it in the garage, not the barn.
Yep, yep.
But I'm thinking about putting an addition on my carport up there
Mm.
to put it under, plus other stuff, but
Right.
we'll see. Originally, I was gonna do the third because I had a sheriff's car up there, but I
Mhm.
don't have that in winter anymore.
Mm.
Well, if I really need it, so. So anyway, so yeah, man, I said, I didn't realize that Sam sold his place, I guess, but it's good. They must be putting a new place in Masson's Hill, I see. You can't maybe, up just below, Turk Sherman's place there?
Yes, David Morris, that's one of the things on the agenda. He's gonna put in a modular home.
Roger, yeah, I
Yep.
see it.
Yep.
I know Carport.
Camp, the camp that's there
Yep.
is staying.
Yep.
But I don't know if that means, cause right now he's living in Ferrisburg. They sold their place
Oh,
in
okay. So they-
Connecticut.
Oh, so they're building that under now.
And
Geez, I wonder if they rent the camp out
I don't know.
afterwards.
He said he was gonna keep it, but I don't know if it's for family to stay in or.
Probably, yeah,
what.
I'd imagine it is. John's looking for something desperately.
Hmm.
It sounds like the place, if he even was able to get it, but it sounded like the place that Mark Cannon in was in very good shape. Hole in the floor, and septic tank supposedly was uncovered, and toilet didn't work, I don't know, I mean, stuff that probably could be fixed.
Right, right.
But then again, John ain't got money to spend. Well, not just spend, but rent, he doesn't have a lot of rent. He probably makes $12,000 a year if he's lucky, I don't know.
Right. Mm.
So, and at some point, he's gonna have to get out where he is, because it's all in court right now. He hasn't got an official eviction yet, but
Yeah, it's
That's-
coming.
eventually, so they just settled. He was paying them an escrow, $400 a month, which is the rent, and they got all the escrow from those there, and now he's not paying anymore. The court said, well, he's not continuing to pay it, so what's next? If he's not paying any rent all of a sudden, what's next?
Yeah.
Well, they just want him out because they want to sell it, which property worth a hell of a lot down there. Trailer's definitely not worth it.
Yeah, I drove by and looked at it and I go, wow, it's not good.
So, I mean, John's put some into it, of course, they won't reimburse him for any of that,
Right.
nothing, of course, it's just.
Yeah, it's
Well,
too
John
bad.
paid them for years to help put the kids through college. I mean, he wasn't paying them a lot of money, but that little bit helped every,
Right,
he got home behind the last couple of years, but
yeah.
just because his money's sporadic, like even this winter, he didn't have as much work this winter, he normally would have.
Right.
There wasn't much snow, I guess, I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, you could go up and see Jacob.
Yeah, I guess he's trying to figure out who to get in touch with and things, so, I know somebody that stays in the house there, next door, which is
Yeah.
his son, I think, isn't it?
He owns it, Jacob owns it. he and his, dad, yeah, he and his dad.
Him and his
own it
dad, yes.
together.
Yeah, okay, it's together, 'cause I know my understanding was his dad owned it and kid got to stay there, or whatever. It's in both their names,
Yeah,
probably.
it's in both their names,
I
yeah.
don't know what to say of it, but yeah.
Well,
I don't know how Mark got in there, so,
right,
I don't know, he wasn't paying him a ton of money,
Jacob let him stay, 'cause he didn't have any other place to go.
probably yet, yeah.
You know, and he had rules to follow,
Well, yeah,
you know,
makes sense.
so I
Yeah,
think
so,
John would be a lot better tenant.
well, yeah, I'm sure, yeah. But, I mean, I'm sure John, if, you know, if you had to fix something up to stay there, then you probably would if you had to, but
Right.
you couldn't find something. Plus, our trailer lady's moving in June, she just told me. That Norton's property up there,
Oh,
post office.
reason?
Yep. She's apparently moving, I think she's moving down from the flats, Julie Brown's got an apartment available, I guess, that she's gonna move to. I said, oh, good.
Oh,
Still in those 2 trailers.
there you go, that's nice.
Because I don't think there's, only thing she's got connected, I think, is electricity, that's it. No water, no sewer, which,
I know, it's like, somebody said there's a porta potty over there.
could be, I haven't noticed one.
I haven't either.
If it is, it must be one of those, there's not a regular one there, but,
Right,
so, that's,
right.
I don't know, I mean, there's 2 of them living there too, apparently.
Your
I see.
granddaughter?
No, it's,
Oh, somebody else?
special needs person,
Oh,
that she was paid to take care of.
oh, wow,
I'm surprised they let that happen.
right? Hmm,
So I'm pretty sure he can't be adopted or nothing, but
right,
I mean, I suppose he could be, but she's done that for quite a few years, taking care of special needs kids.
yeah,
Her kids are adults, actually,
Mhm.
kids are adults.
yeah.
I dealt with her in Bethel years ago, or and stuff. So yeah, she was just telling me today, cause she got a newer car, instead of that old gray thing she
Oh,
had.
I know, it just barely
Yeah,
moved.
so she got this white Chevy, I think it is. It
Okay,
was a Chevy, just saw it today, I saw her with it a couple days ago, I think it's a Chevy. Anyway, all her black one she has, I guess needs a drive shaft or something, he said, but anyway.
oh, okay, that's why she wasn't.
Yeah. So she got that white, but she saw me today, I guess. She thanked me for not getting after it, because her temper expired, the thing had expired,
Hmm,
in April, I think,
yeah, yeah.
or sometime not too long ago. So
Mhm.
now she's not going on that first day. I was like,
Right,
I didn't realize that, maybe I told this already, temporary registration, I got one from my brother for his new truck. You get a 60-day temp without filing any paperwork, just the VIN number, your license number, for 60 days for $6.
yeah,
And you print it out, it's like,
Yeah.
whoa.
yeah,
No wonder these people keep doing this, so we get it for one vehicle, they'll run it for 60 days, you get another vehicle. And they'll have to have something done to it. That's why I've seen a lot of those temporary things on windows, it's like, yeah, no wonder.
yep, yep,
But,
yeah.
oh, yeah, having a long discussion in there.
Yeah.
Well,
Hopefully they're clearing the air.
yeah, there's always somebody that's not, who's that guy? Is he moving the valley?
Henry? Yeah, he's at the farm up here.
Oh, yeah, right next door.
Henry and Gavin.
Okay, I haven't seen him like a couple different times, and talked to him a couple times, so that's bad at all.
Heck of a nice guy.
Yeah,
Very quiet.
yeah, I think I talked to him at town meeting or something too.
Yeah.
One time I thought he was taking sand from the sand pile with his tractor.
Oh,
So I talked to him about it, I says, no, you can't be going up there and getting buckloads of sand. I said, no, it wasn't me, it's, okay, thought it was your tractor, but
yeah.
fine. I said, down all right when you get some bucketfuls, but you can't go up there with a tractor and start taking bucketloads.
Right.
But I said, if it wasn't you, that's fine, maybe I misunderstood who it was.
Yep.
That was like a year or two ago, a couple years ago. So,
Hmm.
so wish they'd replace these cameras.
Yeah.
Because at night, the one in the parking lot, especially, you can't see nothing in it.
Yeah.
And then that one's black and white in there, which is,
Yeah, all the time.
and at night, these are supposed to work better, they do, and they're not, and they're just getting worn out, I think.
Yeah.
The night vision just doesn't.
Yeah, the night vision in here
Yeah.
and in the town hall, yeah.
Which you need, because if somebody was to break in here, which we shouldn't have that problem, still,
Right,
the current video system, you would know what was good, make them know. And I've looked at the different adjustments on the system, there's nothing else you can do with it, the cameras are there, you know.
cameras.
I mean, now here, for instance, I would plug it once in a while, and just unplug it in there,
Uh-huh.
and let it off for a while, plug it back in, goes back on color for about 30 seconds, boop, and then it goes back to black and
Yeah.
white again.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Huh. Yeah, and if it's really cold in here, it's blue.
oh, yeah,
It's
yeah,
funny.
funny, yeah. I mean, it was $1,000 until we replaced the cameras, I thought that was a good deal. Probably more
Right.
like 1,500 now, but,
Right.
and I don't know, because originally they had some money available from leagues and cities and towns for payment systems, I thought.
Yep.
But I think for us to qualify for that, I think our video system had to be in a vault sort of thing, the hard drive was down there.
Oh, okay.
Which would be a hard project, you really could just mount something on the wall up there and make it
Mhm.
under lock and key, the hard
Yeah.
drive.
Yep.
I mean, that's one of the requirements for my secure offices, is just video surveillance here.
Mhm.
I gotta fight with that some more too, because I gotta get that state computer system.
Mhm.
Looking at it, this Windsor County, I think, caused problems with that too.
Yeah.
But I'm on it right now with Orange County. That I found out, I don't know if it's an error on their part or I just got lucky or what, because I have the tablet from Orange County that I need to access the state system with.
Mhm.
So you have to have a passcode for the, well, you have to have a passcode. They have what they call the soft token. You have to program that in, and it gives you a number that you put in on the other system.
Mm.
So I turned on my laptop and downloaded opened the web page for that state system, and then used the password from the other computer,
Mhm.
plugged it in there, and it worked. I didn't think this was supposed to happen. So another computer was using Orange County's authorization, basically.
Yeah.
So basically, a soft token they call it, I guess, so the soft token is the main thing. I guess anybody can probably go to the website, but you still have to have the name and your password, and then the soft token number to open it up.
Okay.
So everything else, I knew the password, I knew the passwords for, of course.
Yeah.
The soft token isn't on my computer, but it is on there. It's like, oh, soft token number, yep, good, type it in over here, boom, boom. So I was able to, I can't use it for nothing, but I see what's going on.
Yep. Yep.
Orange County, I've been trying to convince them, we can't run licenses or registrations on their system, we got it set up. It's just, it's really foolish,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure why they do that. I was looking at the dispatch computer at the office in Orange County. They have that capability set up on theirs, but they don't use it. So I'm thinking, if you guys got it on your system, but we don't have it on ours. I mean, it's base-based computer, I guess, but it's just a setting,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, just go
And
into
it's-
the administrative
Yeah.
settings and
So I
change
tried to
and
convince
add
them.
it in or.
Showing one of the dispatchers, well, this is how you do this. And I couldn't, it wouldn't let me run a license number because I didn't have the proper password. His password didn't work, so it may not have been set up for it. So
Mm.
the setup, his password probably was set up to you not use that.
Yeah.
But I was trying to show him, I said, this is easy. You've got a car stop on this. You've got a car stop open. From that car stop, you can run the license and registration, and it automatically puts it in the case.
Mm.
Now they use another system completely, copy it, paste it. That's not time, I mean, not like we've got a lot going on, because we might have one person working that's even doing that needs to run a license or something.
Yeah.
But still, it's, to me, it's a no-brainer. It's giving you the same information
Right.
quicker, in my opinion.
Yep. And there wouldn't be any mistakes.
Right. Copy and paste the wrong thing, who knows, but.
Right.
So of course, that one dispatcher doesn't really know that system that well, so he was learning some new stuff, what I'm showing him, even about changing the screen to dark screen instead of bright white and different
Mhm.
things. I said, well, I wish they'd just do that, I tried to convince him to. I wonder if you mentioned it to the dispatcher, who's the one that controls all that.
Mhm.
And her and me butted heads over the system as it was, because he thought I was trying to take it over. I said, oh, I'm just trying to help you out, but I can, because apparently you guys aren't as familiar with it as I am.
Right.
And she's what they call a TAC officer, and I was the assistant TAC for Windsor County, so I had to know quite a
Okay.
bit about it.
Yep.
And in theory, I'll be the TAC for Granville, because I'm the only one here, so I have to know it anyway.
Yep.
So, I'm hoping I get it, but, I don't know.
Mm.
I was looking at my state retirement, I can collect it early,
Nice.
but it's only $419 before taxes. So I had 6 years invested or whatever.
Okay.
But I won't get the cost of living increases until I reach 65.
Oh,
But I didn't clarify with them that once I hit 65, will I get the full retirement out? Probably not if I start taking it early.
yeah, you won't. No.
So I'm still debating whether about getting in early and investing it somehow, because it's 4 years,
Yeah,
and then I would still continually get, and then I get the cost of living increases after I hit 65.
yeah,
If I wait till I'm 65, it goes up to 560, I think.
okay, so it's 150 more.
Right. Plus the cost of living abuse, whatever. By
Right,
the time I take taxes out, I'll probably get about 400 maybe, but still.
right.
Better than nothing.
Right.
But
How many years? do you
I think it only had just under 6 altogether, so. Which, you know, to get that much, even I'm happy with it, get in it. But before, I didn't have anything, so.
Yeah,
That was mostly, some of that was when I was working for Town of Bethel, because they started me on the retirement system then. Didn't build up much because it was only part-time, but
Yeah.
at least it was something started. So my time started with Bethel,
yeah,
and then continued on when I was in Windsor, so all that time
Okay.
counted. So I was with Windsor for about 5 years,
yeah, yeah.
so I think it said there was, what, 20,000 in there or something? I don't remember exactly. So I've been debating, other bosses are telling me, oh, you just get down and invest it. Yeah, the way the stocks are these days, I don't know, although they're low now, I mean, probably go up.
Or you could go into 100% safe,
Yeah.
you know, not do the market.
Right, true, yeah. So I'm debating, I'm gonna wait, I think I'm gonna wait at least a year and see what it looks like then, I think, because I'm not, it's not like well, I'm hoping to have, my intentions are, I'm not retiring until the house is paid off for one. Once that's paid off, then I won't have that payment, and I'll just have my taxes. But, so, it's, you know, who knows, I might, 2 years from now, I'm gonna be half dead, you know? I have so many problems with my hips and my feet, but that's where the bus driving's good, because it's sitting most of the time, which is good and bad, because my hips start getting sore, but
Right,
in fact, the boss just mentioned they got 2 more trips of all times this month. The Friday, we got a half day on the 23rd, we got a half day of school. And that afternoon, I gotta take a sports trip to Montpelier, U32. Then the next day, on Saturday, I get another trip, same place. And that's the Saturday I'm supposed to be at the rest area all day in Sharon for the green.
oh, yes,
So that sucks, but I hate to turn around and work.
right, exactly.
And I'm doing enough for the grain center without having to be there, because it's my opinion. So what I'll have to do is take the bus down at 7 in the morning and go to the Sharon Rest area.
Yeah,
Do what I can do to help set up, drop my cookies off, and then I'll head up to Randolph. And don't have to leave till 9:30, so I
yeah,
have time to get them set up, and it's like, sorry, gotta run. That's what it is. 'Cause all next weekend I'll be at the grain center, because that's our first cleanup weekend. Hope to get all the water going. We've got water in our nurse's cabin, and I turned on the hot water this weekend, so that's good.
nice.
Fixed the toilet, because it didn't fill up worth a darn, so I replaced the filler thing. Fixed a couple showers that were leaking, so we got, all of our cabins got water, and our
Nice.
shower houses got water.
And it passed the test?
But no, I haven't done that part
Oh,
yet.
you haven't done that.
No, so, we'll wait till the end of the month probably, when all the water's going.
Yeah,
Because there's walkers, I was told is gonna be back up there tomorrow, because we got one, what they call the winter building, which is the big house, numerous problems in that for some reason. So I'm gonna have to evaluate how we shut down in the fall again, I guess. 'Cause I don't think they've had that many problems in the past. And I double checked with the instructions to make sure all the valves are open that were supposed to be.
right,
I don't see where we could have done it differently, but why did so many things freeze
right, right.
this year? So-
Mm,
So I can evaluate that, whether it's somehow hooking up a compressor to it and blowing them out or something, I don't know.
right,
I bet we're gonna run up a couple $1,000s in repairs probably. One was $16,000 for the valve,
right,
but we gotta have it fixed, and it's beyond me. I mean, I can do some of it, but I'm not even gonna tackle that. There was a pipe underneath the cabin, I'm like, oh, It's no thing, it was a plastic pipe too,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna fix that, it was the main pipe coming in.
Ooh,
And then several copper ones came apart
mm,
in the big building. I don't know what he came across, we had like 4 under the building and 3 or 4 inside the shower room. It's like, oh, but, gonna meet with our insurance guy up there Wednesday. We got same insurance guy, so hopefully they'll get us insured again.
yeah,
'Cause right now we only get liability, so.
right.
But
Mm,
knowing that we're getting, the hood system put in, the fire suppression's all scheduled and got the diagrams and everything for him, I guess he's happy with that one, if we show that those are installed at
Yeah.
such and such a time, he
Mhm.
thinks he can probably get us insured.
Nice, nice,
And not to be occupied until after those dates, probably,
right,
but it's fine.
yeah,
But I bet we're spending 70,000 easy, just before we know nothing.
yeah, I saw in the last Granger newsletter that you had taken a loan from State Granger.
Yeah, that's his 3rd loan, we've taken out 60,000. We took 2 $30,000 grants for this clean our water and hood system.
Okay,
And then prior to that, we had a $20,000 several years ago, they borrowed for the new beds. I didn't realize they did that, that was before my time on board, but,
yeah,
so I know, and they expect us to pay it back. How are we supposed to pay that back? I mean, we only make it, whatever we make a summer, even if we're fully rented.
yeah,
I mean, they charge $600 a day is what they charge to rent the whole property.
deal.
It is, yeah, so, and that's the problem, they gotta get that out there more. Here it is.
For sure,
So, wow, I didn't realize it was that reasonable.
yeah,
That's the whole complex for $600
yeah,
a day, from, noon Friday to noon Saturday, or however they run it, but that's what I understand, so.
mm,
So, that's the problem, we gotta figure out a way to get it out there and advertise, whatever, to show what's available.
yeah,
That it's there, it's a nice quiet place. I
mm-hmm,
mean, all right, granted, you don't have friggin' Wi-Fi there, but you got cell service,
yeah,
you got a phone that's, just for emergencies, it's only in the kitchen and the nurse's cabin, so.
yeah,
But cell service, well, I should say AT&T works there, and probably whoever uses AT&T will probably work there too. I don't know about Verizon, maybe, because it's fairly close to the interstate, but
right,
I don't know about Verizon, I never tested it up there.
mm, yeah. Mm,
And it's, these, I don't remember how many sleep, it's gotta be, God, it must, I don't know, it must sleep, I bet you sleep 300 people up there, I bet.
yeah,
Well, I don't know, that might be a little high, but each cabin's got, what, 10 bunks in it? 4, I think it's got 8, so that's 16. Let's just say 40 people per cabin is what, 4 of those?
it's 160.
Something like that, and then you got the big house, which has gotta be sleep, maybe 30. So yeah, probably more like 250 maybe,
Yeah,
maybe close to, but still, that's a lot. Plus,
yeah,
you got 8 camper sites, you put
mm-hmm,
8 campers up there, and hook them up to water and power,
mm,
which they haven't had a camper in there in a long time, I guess.
yeah,
It's
it'd be a
unfortunate.
great spot for family reunion.
Exactly.
or,
Yep.
Whatever.
Right now, they got,
Wow.
one day that somebody wants to rent it in June for, I think, a graduation party, I think.
Okay, yeah,
But if we're ready, I'm hoping we are, 'cause we gotta have the water tested back. And
yeah.
the fan hood is putting on June 3rd, fire
Mm,
suppression June 4th, June 6th. I'm hoping to have the gas company up there to hook the stoves back up. Then I gotta call a company to come work on them.
mm,
As a, well, I guess, they're old stoves. Kinda wish, I was gonna get hold of the guy that bought the hall and see if he wanted to install that one. But probably doesn't, because that's newer than what we got up in
Yeah.
the center.
yeah,
But I'm sure he wants to keep it, because his intention was to make it available for
I,
functions at some point, I guess.
I think so,
Yeah, so
yeah.
I hope he fixes that roof soon.
Oh, I know,
And with that stuff we put on there for temporary fix is all gone now. I don't know if it's been leaking or not, but I
Oh,
don't know.
I'm sure it has.
So I don't be checking. I wonder, I'm not sure if Duke's mowing it or who, but I see you got mowed at least, but
Yeah, I think Duke's
probably.
doing the
I haven't,
mowing.
I wouldn't know the
Yeah,
guy if I
he
saw
was-
him.
He was doing the snow plowing this winter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Daniel and Kira said they saw him, not this weekend, but the weekend before, he was down.
Yeah, some,
He stopped in.
oh, okay. I guess I would know the guy if I saw him, because I just seen him once years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got the two houses that are on 100.
Yes.
Lives in, is he living in,
No, he actually
doesn't live at all?
doesn't live in Granville
Oh,
anymore.
yeah.
He bought a place up in Warren.
Oh, okay. Because I noticed he was living in Get Maxwell's house, I think, at one
Yes.
point, and I see nobody's been there, but they are the next place,
Yes,
and the other place, the other Maxwell house.
yeah, he has an office in Gibbs
Oh, does he?
Place,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Alright.
He told Daniel and Kira why he hadn't rented that out. He had to do something.
Something needs work on, I'm sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
He had to fix something before he could rent it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. It's beyond John's budget, so.
Yeah. Hmm.
So did you get the alert for that, when I put it out a week or two ago?
Yes, Yep.
And I updated it a week or two later when they finally put the light up.
mm-hmm, yeah.
Because it said it went out to 300 some odd people, so I don't know.
Oh, wow, yeah. Hmm.
It's good, well, glad it works then.
Yeah,
But that was just for a traffic alert. Now, if it was an emergency, I don't know if it necessarily goes out to the same amount of people, I don't know.
it should.
It should, but, I know I put out one as an alert instead of a traffic advisory before, and hardly nobody got it, so I don't know.
Mhm. No. Yeah, 'cause I had, before you posted it, I had gone in and signed the town up for alerts.
Oh, good, yep,
So I get an alert on the computer,
yep,
and then I have at home, they call my phone,
Oh, you gotta
and
set
they
that up.
also send it to
Email.
my email.
I get an email, and an alert on my phone, get the alert set up on my phone.
Okay.
And I've got it set up for different areas, and also I hear, how is that? Oh, it's a damn alert again. So, in fact, it happened today for Warren. Alert went off for Senior Road being closed tomorrow for culvert replacement.
Mhm.
Because I think Washington, Windsor, and Orange counties, I think
Okay.
I signed up for, because I
Yep,
think I'm where I'm working, I guess.
right, right.
And then I work up in, well, in the summertime, I'll probably be working in Barry a lot too, for
Mhm.
the sheriff's department. So.
Yep.
Apparently they got a lot of work for us this summer, so that's all right, I'll be ready for it. Probably gonna end up with their oldest vehicle again, so I'm not getting the Charger, or the Durango, that's all right. Well, I might get one of their old pickups too, I guess that could be worse. I used their Durango here a couple weeks ago when I went to the mud bog up there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was all right. But if they were gonna give me that, fine, let me do some work on it, like, maybe put the back seats in it, because it's a canine unit, instead of a canine unit, it's the back set up for a dog.
Okay,
So it's just got a metal thing in the back,
yeah.
where the back seat is.
Mm-hmm.
They must have seats for the thing somewhere, I
They
think.
must have,
So,
yeah.
if it comes up to that, the sheriff wants to have it for the summer, I'm just like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Where's the seat?
Do you have the seats? Do you mind if I put the seats in? I'll put it on my own time if you like, and remove the canine from the car, because it's not a canine car, and it shouldn't say it's a canine car, in my opinion, so.
Yeah.
I ain't having mental blows anymore, so no.
No, they're still sitting
Yeah,
there.
that's good.
Good grief. Mm,
Lengthy discussion, I guess.
Yeah,
Hopefully it gets all settled down.
yeah.
Well, I'll be next.
A lot of it is just, you know,
It's the-
questions
Oh,
and
yeah.
misunderstandings.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah,
Yeah.
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 You gotta remind Nancy too that, I'm trying to figure that out, they're saying most of my salary's already spent, it looks like I'm gonna overspend. And I'm thinking, how can that be? It shouldn't be. Cause there's like 400 some odd
Oh,
dollars.
yeah, $421.
Yeah, and there's 2 months left. Oh, let's see, oh, no, there's
No.
not, there's 1 month left, that's
Right.
right, because she paid me for May already.
And it's
So it's
taken
just,
out.
so it's just, all right, so that makes sense, it's just, there'll be a little bit left over actually, which actually shouldn't be, but it is what it is, cause next year it changes a little, not much, but
Right.
the salaries changed a little.
Mhm.
So that's as a reminder that when July gets here, they should drop the recalculate because it's gonna be different.
Mhm.
Although I've asked her to take, well, that won't affect that, but she's taking extra taxes out of me because I had to, because this job with my taxes is killing me because they don't take hardly any taxes out. You come find the taxes, my other jobs end up paying the taxes for this job.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, I've had to do the same thing.
I have to take out, what, 40 federal and 20 or something state or whatever, anyway,
Mhm.
take out extra.
Yeah.
It's working, I think it'll work fine, but. Well, that's right, so, all right, okay, that's fine, but the only money left over, so, which I don't know why that would be that way, it's,
Yeah, it
something's
should.
out of whack, so, she may have to. Because the salary for say is split over 12 months, so,
Right.
it must have been something off a little bit somewhere there.
Hmm.
Well, it's for her to figure out, I guess. I'm not gonna complain, it's probably $100 or something, when you get all around. But, then the mileage budget's gonna go over, and I tried to convince them last year, when they
To
did next
put
year's
more
budget.
money in it.
Nope, and I'm sure it's
Uh-huh.
probably gonna happen next year.
Yep, yep.
But, yeah, I know it's just a guideline per se, but, yeah.
Well, you don't wanna run over. If you know you're going to,
Right.
you need to put more money in
Yep,
it.
yep.
Mhm.
I mean, granted, I'm the main one that uses it, because I think the commissioner's mileage is in a different budget, the road foreman's or whatever.
Yes,
It's a different budget.
yeah, they
so-
have a,
But like I went to a meeting in White River the other day, I didn't even bother to do the mileage, that was my TAC meeting I was down there in White River for.
Mm.
I said, I was sick with it this time. I'm not gonna, I won't worry about the mileage this time.
yeah.
And I gotta get back over to East Granville at some point. It won't be this coming weekend, though. Like I said, I'm at the Green Center all weekend, because we gotta get that done, we gotta get it cleaned. We got, hopefully it must be Dan's home. That's my alarm saying there's motion on the driveway.
Gotcha. Huh, it's kinda cool.
Yep, that's what it is. And it freezes on the last motion, so it saves it. And
Oh.
so I can go back and look and see what set the alarm off.
Okay.
And it's funny though, my phone's a bit of a delay, I don't know why, it doesn't make sense.
Hmm,
He could be walking in a house, and all of a sudden the alarm would go off. It's like, oh, been here 30 seconds to a minute, and just tell me it is in the dooryard now,
that's weird. Huh,
so. But I have 2 cameras up there, I only have one set up for the alarm, because my other camera moves with stuff,
hmm,
and, so it's probably more sensitive. But it also tracks, so if something's there, it'll track it, it records it, but it won't set an alarm off for me. But-
yeah.
In fact, did I show you the bear that was up there the other day?
No,
My-
Nancy has one.
My camera,
too.
Big Bear, whoops,
Yeah.
oh, actually, well, let's go back into that program for a second.
Yeah, Nancy showed me the one that comes to her
I wonder if it's, well, it could be.
hummingbird feeder. It stood up, it stands as tall as her French door on the back of the house.
So,
Yeah.
so it looks like as the camera tracks him, he'll be coming right up to the front porch in a minute here. So the light went off, and I'm thinking, I'm sitting there watching, why is the light come off? Because it was, I don't know, 10:30 at night. Stood there looking, walks up to my porch.
Look at that. That's about the size of the one at Nancy's house.
Could be, well, it could be the same one, but I doubt it, but maybe. That's a good sized bear. And then
That is-
I then went outside and I turned the front porch around, and it was scurrying.
Oh, you ran off when the light
But,
went off?
no, we just moseyed on, went out by my shed, no big rush. Didn't really care, I mean, if I got out on the porch, I'd have done different, but,
Yeah. Huh?
so,
That's funny. Yeah.
we had a retirement party for the hospital in Castleton, I hope I showed you that or not, but 53 years of service.
Wow.
A legend. And they're gonna have a proclamation up in the State House.
Nice, nice.
There was this motorcycle that he rode, it's a wild Castleton.
Oh, wow, nice.
And it's, that's a shadow box that Cashmere Chief did for him, uniform shirt, so that was nice of him. Yeah.
Nice. They're coming.
Yeah, I had to put that on Facebook and send it to my sister, said, see that, we got a traffic light scandal.
We've come into the 21st century.
That's right. Said, what, Frank Sensen.
I'm done with them.
Okay.
Who else?
Got it. No more.
I was just wondering if we were gonna have to order dinner out or something.
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh wow.
All right.
So you got any new addresses you got a plan yet?
What's
Must
that?
have, see houses going up left and right, you must have lots of requests.
Actually, I haven't heard of one.
Well, somebody-
I think they're taking care of all of them
At the
at
state
the
level?
Montpelier
Good
office.
days, great, I know they did a few of those for me
Told
too.
Lindsay to get a hold of it for hers.
Yeah, well, I kind of reamed him out for it because I had Luke Brown contact me
Oh, yeah.
for the address,
Yeah.
and, you know, so I get on, see the message, whatever, the next day, and, you know, I go into the 911 map, the address is already there.
I thought-
That's the day after he
I thought
contacted me.
he already had one.
It looked like a new address,
Good.
just because it was highlighted on the map.
Yeah,
Um,
but how can he give him a thing if he doesn't know where?
right,
Well, he can look at the parcels,
Yeah.
because the 911 maps, have you access to the 911 maps? They show you the parcels
right,
on there, so.
yeah,
Yeah, they're guessing where the driveway's gonna be.
or
Well-
where the house location is gonna be, you
Yeah,
know,
that too.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's, I don't know, good and bad, I mean, if the state wants to do it for you, great, but I guess,
But West Hill is a mess.
yes. Well, and another one I've been thinking about, and it was thought because he didn't want his address to be Butts Road, but it's, the last house.
Landis's, right.
Landis's place. He's got
Oh,
a
yeah,
North
yeah,
Hall
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
address, and it should be a Butts Road.
Right, the driveway is on Butts Road.
So it's like, that one should be changed.
Right.
And then West Hill, I mean, I was in Masson's Hill, a couple things wrong with that. One, the measurements are off apparently, plus it's backwards,
Right,
which is partially my fault, because I should have caught it day one, when the state did it originally. So we're talking back at a long time ago. When they did that, but anyway, and it's just like Route 100, well, I don't know what I was thinking when we did that, or the Selectboard either, but they should have started new with the gravel line, instead of
Yep.
continuing on.
Oh, yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
because there's so much confusion, whether you're in Hancock or Granville.
Right.
Yeah,
And so, but some towns did it that way, but most of them were doing it separate, I guess, too,
Yep.
so. Well, like, look at Rochester, for instance, you got North Main and South Main, and.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
and then once you get out of the village, now it's
Changes
north and
all-
south Route 100.
Exactly, so that can be. So,
Wow.
You know, for us, it kind of would have been nice to start at Maston Hill and go north and south,
right,
you know.
yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah, it's what it is now, it's not like you can change it now, so it's.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you probably
it's
could, there's a lot of
expensive.
upset, yeah, exactly, there's a lot of upset people.
Yeah,
So,
you know, because everybody, they have to change their stationery and,
whatever, yeah.
Bank checks.
Yeah, well, just like the fight we had with that lady on Masson's Hill,
Oh, that's still not settled.
well, I think she's got 2 numbers on her box now, I think.
Yeah. Its post office won't deliver it unless her mail says what we have it as.
But her house was sold under the wrong number.
Right.
To start, that's where it all started.
Yep. Just like Hammond's, they had the same issue. But they
well,
ended up.
they had your number for a while, I think,
really?
or vice
Yeah.
versa.
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah, and they ended up, they went to their attorney and was able to get it switched to.
Well, I think because those properties were owned by the same person at the
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Farm,
and
yep.
then they split.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
that's where that happened. Yeah, I don't need the headaches anymore. I got enough as it is. So I tell you, Mom, I gotta go research for my taser server instructor training. They just upped it. Now it's 2 days plus on the computer besides.
Yep.
It costs us $900. Thank God the sheriff's department's paying for it, because it ain't my budget. Thank goodness. But that's the other thing, is the state, if you haven't been certified to carry a taser, you still have to go through the state school program, which is duplicate of what we teach, basically. You go through some scenarios, you gotta shoot a couple times. We do that every year to research these guys, and now we're even getting more, so that's why it's 2 days, because the training has changed, we got more scenarios we're gonna be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna be doing the same thing the state does anyway, but you still have to go through their course before. You only gotta go through it once. Once you've been through the state course, you're good.
Oh,
And then you have to
okay.
recertify every year with me or somebody, but, because that's the manufacturer's instructor, so. So,
Huh.
so I have to do a whole freaking plan, I gotta send to the academy and everything, well, here's a, what am I thinking, what do they call that now, lost track anyway. The program anyway, what you're teaching them, I guess you have to tell them, you have to tell them everything else, but. So I gotta sit down and do that this year. Sometimes I wonder, 4 more years. See ya.
Alright, see ya.
Whoops, just activated the computer.
Oh, woke it up.
The mouse must have shook. Like traffic. I must say that all the time, don't I?
Yes.
I guess I haven't discussed what they discussed now, huh? Hope you guys finish the rest of your meeting, so just, you want me to talk
right.
too?
Good grief.
I wanna go home.
Still got a lot. left
Yeah,
to do.
exactly, that's what I was saying, we still got a lot on our list. Good thing the trooper didn't come tonight. Well, he wouldn't have talked about it probably anyway.
No.
You want us to order dinner?
Everyone's getting raised.
Everyone's getting
Everyone's
raised.
getting
There you
raised.
go, Mark.
You want us to order dinner? Or no?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are gonna be here for breakfast or something.
Yeah.
All right.
So I had a quick dinner before I came.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Back in session. Nobody's joined? All right.
I had 15 phone calls while you were out, but other than
Oh,
that.
yeah, that's all? Really? No, nothing.
No.
All right.
Oh, left me in the dark.
We did.
Oh, they shut off the lights and everything? That wasn't nice.
Yeah, just left him in there. Okay,
Okay, so.
all right.
Out of executive session.
Out of executive session at 8:27. Little longer than expected.
Yeah, almost off.
And then
They're gonna be there all night on my phone.
All right, we have payment orders. No action.
Okay.
Yep, we're all still one piece.
Yes,
All right.
everything good.
Yeah, I was doing the video there.
Send me, I'm left in the dark.
All right. Improvement of payment orders and financial reports. If you want to,
Oh, what about discuss any new interest in open town official roles?
I think we looked at that. I don't believe we've had any new interest. I haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything, Cheryl?
I haven't.
No response.
Right.
We posted it on the website. I tried to post it on Front Porch Forum, but it didn't come up on Front Porch Forum, so I don't know if it was flagged. I did. They do limit you to like 1 per week sometimes, and so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Like it was official, but I did the Green Up Day, so I
Yeah.
wonder if they considered it like an official business posting, but that should be a community posting. So I don't know. But I'm going to try to post it again on Front Porch Forum this week because it has been over 7 days. So.
So they do the town report, do they still do Granville, don't they, in the Herald? Don't they get
Oh,
a little-
yeah, we can put it in the Herald.
Well, no, I mean, not to pay for it, but do
Yeah.
they still do town reports, like Selectboard minutes or something? Do they
Yeah,
still do those for free?
Yeah, I send those off to
So,
Martha and.
They could
Yeah.
add all the.
All the open
offices
positions?
Maybe to that, just a
Yep,
suggestion.
I can do that.
Do you want to send that to? Yeah, that'd be great.
Suggestion, and maybe people will realize.
That's a great idea, Mark. Thank you. Okay, payment orders. We want to start looking through these. Here's highway. We'll switch up here. Let everybody kind of take a look here. Star.
This one is from the buildings, right? Patty Twitchell.
Yes, I think that she's,
The cemetery, the firehouse, the town hall,
then we have Patty here
Maston
too.
and Buffalo Hill. Must be the end of the road.
Yeah, they did the ends of the road.
And that was, so we still have so we have Twitchell Cleaning Service and for general fund, and we have it for highway fund also?
That's for up front here.
Yep,
Yeah.
okay.
It really should be hosed down. There's still sand all over everything. Do we have a hose connection up front?
Yep.
Yeah, it really should be washed. Washed.
That's for telecom, and then PC fiber.
You said
Okay.
John has a
There's
special
not
one?
one.
No, I think so, maybe.
The garden hose would work.
But yeah, I thought the garden would work too,
Yeah.
yeah. Just to
Oh,
spray it off with the hose.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have enough pressure there, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what we got for hose here, I don't think we do, but
No, we don't
I
have
don't
it.
think so, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got a pressure washer, but that's, yeah. Cause I use it on the roof next week.
Thank you.
I just had to
Sanitary
order
Stearns.
500 gallons of paint for the roof.
Oh, this was $650 for him to look over the tan loan stuff? Jeez.
That's why we don't.
To look at
Yeah. That's a lot of money.
Darn attorneys. It's probably 1 hour work too.
It wasn't that
It
much.
was over the course of a few days, but
3.33.
Hours?
Yeah. Hours. Opinion letter.
Gotta pay for that too, huh?
Yeah. Here's my opinion. You can still do whatever you want. It's just an opinion letter, right?
it's a requirement to get a loan for a town, but.
Add it to the loan, I guess.
Here's the big one.
Loan expenses, yeah.
Thank you. This is actual, where are we sitting here?
Yeah, Nancy said on one of those, I think it's the one for Shane, if you wanted him to be paid for 2 months.
Yep. In advance?
In
Yeah.
advance to write it on there.
Okay. I don't know the amount. Do we have the amount?
He should
Is he
be,
here?
we just talked about that, he should be billing us for every month. In other words, we need to see an invoice, not just assuming that it's a monthly thing. Does he?
No, it's written in his contract.
We need his contract, though. Do we have a
What's
copy of his
what's written in his
contract?
contract?
It's written in the contract, right on
Monthly
the
payment.
first page.
Is it here?
That-
Do we have that?
Right there,
We have it?
it's right there on the pay
Is
order,
there?
on the pay order.
Okay,
Where's the pay order?
right here.
Where's the highway pay order?
Oh, highway is
Highway
not,
pay order.
it's not with the highway. It's not highway. We don't have it.
She did it. And she-
Oh, Bear and Travel? No?
No.
No, we don't have it.
Nancy, but she did it, cause she had it, she did it before she left.
But no, we didn't get it from her. Is it this?
It's $4,500.
There's Chanel
No.
right here. So we know how much it is. She put this here before she left, I think, so that's for 512?
Yep. Yeah,
That's today?
there should be a pay order here somewhere on your table.
I don't have
I
it.
didn't see one.
I don't have another pay order. Those were the 3 that we had. Let me see if it's hidden. Is it hiding?
Over here.
Is that right,
There it
Julie?
is.
Oh, it's hidden. There it is, okay.
So, yeah, if you want him, this is what he should have gotten at the beginning of the month.
Okay.
If you want him to get paid for June, I don't know what the situation is. She said to write it on there,
Okay.
Yeah, I would just pay what's current.
but that's what
We would be approving now a payment for June 1st, right, at this meeting? And current is $4,500 that was due May 1st. So that means that current is $9,000 at this meeting for payment June 1st?
June first, yeah.
Yeah, so,
In other words, you're approving the check that's supposed to read, they're written on the first instead of, yeah.
yeah.
date, 1,
You should do it just like they
2025.
do with the salaries, is,
Right, and, yeah, and,
But is he sending you an invoice, Cheryl?
no,
Yeah.
because it's written in the contract
That he,
that he would be paid that. It's something that was negotiated between him and Bruce.
right, but you would think he'd still send a reminder. I mean, how hard is that, you know?
Yep. Yep. So, yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for us, if I was doing that, I would be sending them an invoice once a month, and on that invoice, it would be a statement as to what's been paid and what's currently being owed. So,
Yep.
basically, we're doing accounting.
We have to remember,
I'm accepting my own accounting, and this is what I'm sending for an invoice, so it's all transparent.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do that.
No.
He just wants the money to be flowing.
yeah,
I really think he should be sending us an invoice
yeah,
with something every month.
Yep.
Because if it changes, we want to know something's different.
and it should reflect when he collected our last payment as well,
That's right.
so,
It should have, like, just, well,
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna get him to do that.
No.
Because we had a hard time getting him to even write his proposals correctly.
he's the
I'm
only
still in
one
the
we-
dark.
the only one we got.
what's going on? I was
Looking at
reading
me. Nothing going on.
the orders. All right,
I tend to agree with you, Mike, should end up
I
with
agree with you too.
an invoice. every
You
month.
just invoice every month. It's like, don't just
Yeah.
assume that someone in the account, believe me,
That we know something's due.
something, people, you know, whether it's forgetfulness or it's intentional, I've had so much of it that's entirely, these bigger general contractors, oh, geez, I'm sorry, you know, I'll get that out to you in whatever, right? It's intentional, they're doing that.
Right.
Yeah,
Because then it's not out 30 days, it's out 60.
That's right.
right.
They just
they-
make
and they
money
put-
on your money.
Well, they're sitting on, you're putting many people's money in the account, making money on it. That's
right.
like,
And I know that the auditors had requested that Nancy make copies of this. That's extra work that Nancy needs to do, because we wanted to see this every time it gets paid. So if there's no invoice, we want to see a copy of the contract
Yeah.
every single time it gets paid on the audit side of it. So that's extra work for her.
Yeah.
It's not really
it
fair,
should just be
right?
an invoice.
Yeah,
Month of this is the invoice. Because if he wants more work, there'll be with that invoice, so this is the grading for the month, and by the way, I did this and this and this. And then, so you have a billing that follows. Yeah, it should be.
Right. No, it would be real great to get a little bit of a progress report as to where he is on the grading.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't want to do any paperwork. I could
No.
see that from the very beginning. He was
resistant.
resistant, yeah.
So I make a motion to approve all of the payment orders.
Second,
Second,
I
yeah.
didn't sign that other one for Shane.
Oh,
You want me to?
yes. All in favor?
I
Thank you. All right, any questions on financial reports? I'll take a moment to look through this.
It'd be nice if we had like, I didn't realize we had access to Rochester Public Library. They like send the town meeting, hand out library cards.
Yeah,
Rochester would print them and say, here, by the way,
you have access?
well,
Well,
we're paying for it.
we should promote the Libby app
The Libby
as,
app.
yeah, as having access to the Rochester Town Library. Gives you a card number, you don't even have to have a physical card, and you can go online and you can download, like, I mean, you check them out, but you can download audiobooks or books to your Kindle from the Green Mountain Library Consortium. And so
Well, that's
anything that's available, you can do electronic books, so you don't have to go to the library and you have access, so we should promote that.
Public of Granville get that?
Well, I think that I can work with, why don't I reach out to the new librarian that's down there?
Yeah.
And get some resource information and share that. We
Yeah,
should
that'd
really be
that'd be
promoting
great for
that.
everyone to have that, yeah.
Yeah, and we should have it on our town website
Yeah.
to let people know. That's a very good point. But did y'all know that you can get free ebooks?
No?
You could have been listening this whole time and not paying that high Audible cost, right? All that Audible.
Yeah, it's good because I don't read, I can listen instead
You
of
can
reading.
listen. Yeah, that's right. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some downtime. There's some good stuff out there. Any kind of books. I've had a lot of commutes in my life, and I was like racking up a lot of money on ebooks for a while, and I'm like, oh, the Libby app, and so I got it, and I get free ebooks. I've been using that library since I moved here. I went and used to go check stuff out. It's a good little library.
The fire department workman's comp, is that through leagues of city and towns?
What's that?
The fire department's workman's comp?
Yes,
League of cities?
yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
How do they, what's the formula for that, Cheryl?
It's based on your roster
Yeah.
and what those people are for the fire department.
Mm-hmm.
If they're an officer,
Yeah. What the responsibilities are.
yep, responsibilities, and if they do fire and or EMS, they base the amount on that. But if you're an officer, yeah, the rate's higher. And a firefighter is lower than, say, EMS.
Mine must be the lowest then.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, yours is actually higher.
more,
The
okay.
area of this-
Yeah, I know it is. They went up a couple of years ago, I think.
Do we have any questions on the financial reports? I have a question. I'm gonna reach out. I'm trying to figure out the profit and loss statement, the budget versus actual. We're sitting at 86.9% of budget, but every item looks like we're over budget. So I'm not seeing how we're,
Is there a negative next to the over budget?
no.
That's what I'm seeing, but yeah, I'm just,
There's total expense, but then net income, it's 86.9%. And we should be at, if we're over, but like, from what I'm looking at, we should be over 100%, sitting at this point because, well, maybe we're not. Maybe we're just not.
I think it's deceiving. It says over budget, but I think that means the amount that's not over budget.
If we're under budget,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So that's where I'm-
Then
But we-
over here is your percentage of what is actually
It's the percentage of the budget.
used.
That's right, of what we've used, right? And so that's where I'm looking here, though. We have
Not
these,
of what we use of the total budget. Right?
yep. But we've got a few of these that are over 100%,
Oh,
and they're the big number item. But then we have some other big, that's not. And so I'm wondering if maybe I'm not correlating that with the right information. Because if I look at or maybe I need more information, is actually what I need. I need more information
It's
on.
at 247%.
I'll take time to look through. I don't need to answer it all right now. I just need to look through
Oh,
this.
sand went way over, 448%.
A lot of sand.
People like to be able to get down to the store.
That was
That's right.
offset, that was offset for something, offset by something else.
Because we didn't
Overall, I
put
think
money
we're
in the
fine.
budget, and then we bought sand.
And we're collecting taxes this month, so that's good. Okay. Are you good?
Happy?
I'm fine.
yeah, I'm fine.
I'm fine. Okay.
Make a motion to approve the financial statements?
I'll
Second.
it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No opposed. Moved. So moved. So approved. Constable report.
So a couple of things, I was kind of browsing this to Kenny a little bit too. If you're interested, on June 17th, at VTC, they're having it's sponsored by VTrans, DEC, Vermont Local Roads, and Municipal Rural Grants Roads. It's a roads roundtable.
Okay.
It's taking place at VTC from 9 to 2, free lunch included. So you can go to the Two Rivers website, probably get more information on it. But I got that at my Transportation Advisory Committee meeting I was at last Thursday,
Okay.
which I was elected as the chair of.
Great. Good for you. You got some extra time.
Yeah,
You know?
well, actually, the Two Rivers does it all anyway, it's just a
Oh, they
title. I
do.
was vice chair anyway from the
Okay.
start, so. Anyway,
So what's,
You have a lot of
what's the
things.
cost of this roads roundtable?
no cost, it's free.
That's good.
Includes free lunch, yeah,
Oh, that's great.
yeah. So
Double
you
free.
can double
That sounds
check
a good, yeah.
Two River, yeah, free lunch.
Free 99.
VTC has good food, I go there once in a while for lunch because the price is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but cheap, better than food in McDonald's.
Good.
Along the constable stuff. So I picked up the radar trail the other day, because I gotta do more work on it than I thought. Needs more paint again, I just painted it last year.
Okay.
I gotta keep on top of that rust or else, it's 7 years old now, I think, anyway.
Okay.
I'm hoping I don't have to replace batteries this year, because that'll be expensive.
Okay.
Next month, I'm going, I think I probably browsed this too, I'm doing my TASER recertification. I'm an instructor for TASER, and I have to recert every 2 years, so I'm doing that next month
Fun.
for the cost of $900,
Okay.
which luckily I'm affiliated with Orange County, so they're paying for that.
Okay.
Thank goodness,
Nice.
because it ain't in my budget.
Okay.
So
That's great.
other than that, nothing new. I worked with Cheryl a little bit on the generator issue.
Okay.
I guess we got that figured out, but they're coming tomorrow, I guess, anyway, so.
Okay, good.
It was-
Generator repair?
Yeah.
Yeah. What had happened to it is there's a ground fault, there's a plug-in, just like you have in your house, and it has a ground fault in it that tripped.
Uh-huh.
So the battery charger wasn't getting any power to charge the battery.
Okay.
So the battery went dead, not being charged, I guess, so. When it went to start, it wouldn't start because the battery had gone dead, or whatever reason. The battery may be weak anyway, and they're gonna check that when they come, but.
Okay.
So she said it started up today, because I
Great.
did this yesterday, and she said it started today on its normal schedule, so it probably would
That's
kick
great.
in right now if it needed to. But it's still sending a red light downstairs saying there's a problem, so
Okay.
Right.
they'll figure that out tomorrow
Okay.
when they
Yeah,
come,
they're
so.
coming in.
Well, at least you saw that, so they're not
Yeah,
gonna like
she's-
have to
well,
troubleshoot it
Well,
for,
well, yes,
you know,
right.
got ahead of it. Good.
Well, that's why I wanted to make sure I mentioned to her, so that when they do come, that they know that was the problem, if there wasn't other problems besides.
Yeah.
But,
Great.
other than that, I was out running the roads yesterday a little bit. Met Alan Jackson,
Oh, really?
the one that lives on
Oh,
Stagecoach Road.
oh.
It's a guy named Alan Jackson.
Oh, really? Not the Alan Jackson?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's like,
But anyway,
No,
he bought
Sam.
Sam Eller's place.
oh, okay.
Up there, so him and his wife moved in from White River, I guess, but he works for some Green Mountain Recycling or something down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Anyway, nothing else new, I guess.
Okay, great. Thank you for the update.
No, yep.
The next thing we have on here is the town reappraisal.
Rick is out and about.
Yes, he is.
He was doing, last bill was like, he was doing like a dozen a month?
Yep.
Yeah, he's making his rounds. I talked to him a little bit about the redetermination agreement that we did last time. Remember, he had those 3 properties, was it 3 or 4 properties?
Yep.
That he
They were out of skew?
Yep. And so he kind of went through that. Everything seemed, normal. He sent over an email with kind of like a report, and I can forward that out, but just a little while ago, like a week ago or something. Were you on that? I don't know if he just sent it to me or who he sent it to, but he sent kind of like out of the blue after we had talked about it and that was signed off.
Mm-hmm.
He just sent me this kind of summary on what it is. So maybe he was still thinking about it and wanted to clarify more.
Is this a recent sale that was over purchased?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there were a few, I guess there were 3 of those.
yeah.
And so it was fine. I mean, everything, I told them that we were holding on approval until we had
Yeah,
a good
and
idea.
he's made an adjustment on them already?
It was
Sam
due.
has
It was due on April 15th, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah.
So he submitted it.
Mm-hmm. Did he give an indication what percentage was high, low, no, nothing?
He said that it was all in our favor. He said it was 100% in the town's favor because they would have skewed the numbers in such a way that it would
Yeah.
throw other things off. So,
Yeah.
I mean, from what he said,
It's inherited money, it's investment money, it's like
yeah,
money that's like funny money
Yeah.
that they're spending.
yeah,
They're buying at, it's like
ridiculous rates.
ridiculous rates,
Yeah, yep. So, I don't think it's gonna be a huge impact, but it'll be helpful
Yeah,
down the line on the final
yeah. I think it's
calculation.
bizarre that they don't just tax them at that rate, if they purchase that, because then it's, they shouldn't be penalizing the rest of the properties.
Yeah,
I mean, we do an annual reappraisal anyways, or every, 5-7 years.
Yep.
But in the meanwhile, they should be recapturing, I mean, they're always looking to recapture.
yeah,
It's like, why not just, if you're gonna pay it, that's your
that's your rate.
valuation.
Yeah,
They can't complain about it,
Yeah.
It's just paid for the property.
just pay for it.
That's
I
right.
don't get why they're not just recapturing on that valuation.
yeah. We don't have a building project update. We know that that's sitting out with Becca Balance team, and it's going back through the review process. Hopefully we have something else on that soon. We don't have a planning commission update. What about cell tower update? Any updates? Other than what we heard earlier?
Well, it was part of that conversation that I just had. It's currently going backwards. Gagne was, a neighbor to the south, was agreeing to put more land in conservancy because what they asked out of us was not enough and they want more. They're leveraging this to attach more.
Okay,
And Gagne backed out, and he didn't want to be part of it. And we tried to communicate with other surrounding landowners, and they refused to be part of it with the state. So we had a memorandum of understanding, which included a seasonal residence. And they came back at us and says, nope, we don't want that residence. So they're just it's overreaching.
okay,
So I was tried to be transparent with, and she's like the senior person,
yeah,
and she
wasn't
wasn't even aware.
Yeah.
These agencies are not communicating, and so it's a bit of a mess because these agencies are not sharing this information with each other.
yeah,
And I don't know who's driving what they're after with me,
but it's like, it's only like part of the agency. It's a mess on their end. Yeah. And we've tried to accommodate, and when we accommodate and they agree to it, then they're going back on it.
Okay.
So hopefully that might make some progress.
Yeah,
I also have I was doing a project with USDA on apple tree release, and I was communicating with their forester and the head guy the woman from Middlebury, and they were like, something doesn't smell right. They're allowing these agencies within themselves to drive the project, and like, it's just, the goalpost is changing. Yeah.
midstream.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
transparent enough within state agencies to have any consistency on what they're asking for. Yeah,
Okay,
so at this point, it's stopped,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
okay. So it sounds like for now it's stalled, more to come. For now. Okay. Any input? No? We're good? Okay.
No.
I have no questions on that either. Website update, no update. I think we've been working with Marilyn to change how we're feeding out access to recorded meetings. So we have 3 meetings so far up on the Granville town open meeting YouTube page. So that's official. So basically, regardless of format, if we have a video file that we can upload. So we have a Zoom, recorded Zoom for the planning commission meeting that we recently had. Cemetery Commission, they had a Zoom meeting too, I think, that they recorded. And then our last meeting recording we put out there. And so this, I'll make sure that the audio track and the video are uploaded. And we'll host it out there on YouTube. And then our requirement is for 30 days. So we'll maintain those out on the YouTube channel for at least 30 days.
after that, they're gone.
After that, we can remove them if we want to.
Huh.
Yeah, for now,
You
there's
would
no need.
There's no need, yeah.
There's no need, but if we wanted to, we could remove them. If we hit a point where we're out of space on our
Yeah, I
full
would think it
YouTube,
would be like every 60 days or every once a year that
yeah, just purge,
purge, all right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The future as far as a system that you can use, like a smart board or something down the road
Yeah,
for doing your normal video
Yep.
meetings every time? I mean,
Yep.
sometimes there's grants out for some of that too, that's what I'm wondering, but
yeah,
whether it's a smart board or something of that nature,
yeah,
to get a
yeah.
good system.
Yeah, that's where too, like, so we're starting with the WebEx. WebEx is gonna work fine, it's just a matter of having the right thing.
Yeah, WebEx works fine, it's just a
Yeah.
matter of having your audio working properly and all that,
Yes.
and it's still in
Yeah.
the learning process, I
Yeah,
understand that.
yeah, I
but,
expected this thing to work, but it didn't work that great, but
I'm even
next
saying,
time.
even down the
Next time,
road,
yeah.
maybe you want more high tech
Yes.
in the not too far future, because it's
Yes.
coming to that, unfortunately.
It is, and I think too, I think the reality is if we can probably get like some type of a smart TV, I'm gonna,
Right.
probably by the next meeting after going through this, I'll make a proposal for the committee, for our group, just
Yeah,
because
just
I
wanted
think
to put that
Yeah.
out there, because I know a lot of
Yeah.
the companies are having to do that because of,
if we had a 32-inch smart TV,
possibly.
and we'd be able to probably run WebEx on it pretty easily. We could have the microphone, we could have other stuff, we could have something we could set here that works, that isn't.
The owl works great,
Yeah, the owl is expensive,
but if
but
you can run it off your laptop,
could.
and do everything you need,
Yeah.
you could set that owl right here. It
Yeah.
works audio.
it does.
In both.
Yes.
I know Two Rivers uses them all the time.
Yeah, yep.
That might be a more cheaper way to do it too, actually.
Yeah, there's cheaper versions of the owl too.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
other things we can get, and so I was going to look and see what we could get as far as that goes, because I would like people to be able to see who's in the meeting.
Yeah.
I would like it to be more interactive.
That's where the owl helps, it
Yeah.
goes to wherever the noise is coming from.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. And if we could post something there, make sure that it's all working, have a visual so that everybody can see it. That's what I'm thinking.
Yep.
We could probably do it for less than $200. That's the goal.
Good deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
less than $200. I think I could get a small smart TV for like $80. You know, they're cheap now. And then I'll look and see what we can get. But yeah, for about $100, you can get like an owl-ish kind of thing.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we can see what we can get. Just because we're not holding that many meetings,
Well, right.
you know, if we're thinking like 2 a month between different entities.
Maybe
shouldn't
can get
wear
a
it
grant
out.
for emergency use too, so
Oh,
maybe some emergency grants. out
yeah,
there.
let's check it
'Cause if we
out.
had a hazardous, anything that got closed down because of another hurricane,
Yeah,
this
We'd
would be
have to
a
do that.
command center.
you would need that owl-ish thing. Yeah. We'll see what we can
Maybe
find.
you need a couple of smart TVs if people are gonna come in here and stay from
Yeah,
the hurricane.
yeah, we're gonna need some
Shelter.
Maybe we bring in,
yeah, their little,
They'll need some
their
sort of
handheld
entertainment,
devices.
movie night.
That's right.
right? Anyways,
All right, road commissioner update,
moving right along.
sir.
Been raining.
Yeah.
Hindering. I haven't set an actual date to when we're gonna do the graveling that we had talked about last meeting, but I have been talking to several different truck individuals, and some of them said they're in and some of them said no way, Jose.
Okay,
Yeah, Harvey's sent something, I haven't.
we got it here,
You have it?
right here.
What are your
And
thoughts on
Varen's
that?
pit,
So we've got Harvey's estimate of work, furnishing 1.5 inch crushed ledge.
that's the municipal truck rates, and I looked at that over, that, they sent that back in
Service.
March, actually.
Here is Varen's gravel pit offerings.
That is, the Varens is what, that we've dealt with a little bit in the past, it's mostly sand.
Is that, okay.
It's mostly a sand pit, up in Bolton.
So they too have, I think it looks like 1 inch double screen stone,
Yeah,
2 inch screen stone.
yeah, but not crushed, and we don't wanna use just screen materials on the road.
No,
We wanna use the crushed, cause it locks together better.
yeah, stuff's nice.
Yeah.
Stuff's nice for like a driveway or something.
Yeah. You might want the screen stuff, I don't
Do
know,
it, yeah.
round. What was this one?
I have
This
Vespas. What can you ride a Vespa on? Sorry. No,
Oh, this is
Varen's.
with Varens,
Yeah, that was Shane's email. You don't need to, it just wasn't the same because he was on that. So this was
Yeah.
Sue Cinnamon.
I looked at the email.
So did we have another pricing broke down like Ray's? Price to Maston, price to Buffalo, price to
No,
Granville?
no, just hourly rates and
Yeah.
the,
We can't compare them.
well, it's gonna be different anyways if it comes from a different pit, because it's a
Oh, we
different
gotta know what's
hourly,
gonna cost
hourly.
to get that material here. I mean, this Harvey's gives us a number of what it's gonna cost us, so we can do a formula with that. By the hour, by that, you can't,
This doesn't include any trucking. This is just the materials.
Just for the materials.
per yard price, what's your per yard price?
Yeah,
Ray's is 19.25, and that is,
this is just screen stone products, $20 a yard, $18 a yard for 2 inch. Okay, 2 inch screen stone and sand mix. You really don't want to put this stuff on the road for gravel. It's just sand and rock.
it's just sand and rock.
It's not.
Right, who's that?
Varen's gravel pit, Jonesville.
Jonesville. Never
Yeah,
been
they're
that
going out
yard.
of business.
Huh?
They're selling what they have, they're going out of business.
There's Jonesville, but it's Bolton. You go up, if you're going up the frontage road and you're almost to Bolton, you go underneath the culvert and up the steep hill.
I've never been up in there. Yeah, I don't know it.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
steep. And then the pit, you go up in there a little ways and it's up in there on the right-hand side.
Okay. Did we get numbers from Middlebury?
No,
No? All right.
just their, from SLC. I did get a price sheet. I didn't bring it with me from North Middlebury Sand and Gravel's $18 a yard for their crushed gravel.
Did they give us a number for trucking? For them to get it here?
No,
All right, well, this will take
I
a
can
look.
I can give them a call and find out.
Yeah, we need to,
We
get
need
apples to apples.
Yeah, we need a
Yeah.
comparison. Quote.
So, yeah, I mean, this is the way I asked Ray to lay this out that way, so we can know, we'll look at volumes and times, and we can put real numbers to this.
Yeah, okay.
And I guess we look at the cost of material, and we could probably do some comparisons here. We just had the cost of material and just estimated trucking, because they don't wanna give us a budgeted number to here, which they probably won't, but we could still sit down ourselves, and that's something we would do with another meeting, and just push the numbers back and forth, and I can do it, and Kenny can do it together, we push numbers back and forth and see what's what, but
Yeah,
it's my guess that because Harvey's is closer, this is probably gonna be
The best.
most affordable material for us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good night, Mark.
See ya.
Okay. So we'll look for another quote. What about sweeping?
So this, when you talked to Ray, he said that this was just it was just gonna be him to haul the stuff from
No,
there, right?
No.
For this quote?
no, that's like getting like 4 or 5 trucks. Other people too, not just him. There was other people involved.
Yeah,
Because when I was talking to him on the phone, he mentioned a couple other people. So this would be getting like 4 or 5 trucks together, and then just hauling. And the plan was to have Shane grade
right.
and 4 or 5 trucks. And
So you want him to get the trucks together instead of me, like I've been planning on doing, or do you want
Yeah,
me
that's-
to continue to find
that's
talk to people about getting the trucks?
That's a price from Ray, including trucks. So my guess is if you want to be part of that, you just pick up the phone with him and say, I want to be part of it too. can be
So
part
you
of it
don't
too.
want me to
Yeah,
hire the trucks then, like we had planned on? Because what we were talking about before was hiring a couple of Ray's trucks and hauling his material, and then hiring other trucks from around the valley, like
Well, that's what that is.
TRK's truck and.
That's what that is. That's not just Ray.
Yeah, but
that's-
he's gonna hire the truck. I can get the trucks a little bit cheaper than Ray can here, and he's gonna hire them to us for this amount, and he might get the trucks for $120 an hour.
Yeah, he's gonna make a
So-
markup.
yeah, I
So
mean,
there's a
but-
markup to it.
Yeah, but that's, he then takes that responsibility. He's responsible for it. I mean, at least we have a formula to work with here, is what I'm getting at. And, at least that's why I asked him, so we have a known number for a location, and he's given that to us. And that's not just Ray, that's some other people. So it might be the same people you were thinking about, I don't know, I mean, so if you wanna be part of that process, that shouldn't be a problem either. In other words, you could speak to Ray and you tell him what you want an hour, and you can be part of that process too. But we have a number to go with, so we know what our budget is.
If we could find anything for less expensive, or if the coordination is less expensive than that.
I would
Would
be
be
all
a
right
good
with this, but if we put it out to bid for this, maybe the next graveling.
Well, I mean, I guess the comparison was that were
Then
communicating with these
he
guys.
can bid on the gravel and he can bid on the trucks, and then I don't have to call a bunch of my buddies up or call a bunch of local guys up, which is what we used to like to do, is to call up the local. I talked to Mac McGuffin. Haven't talked to Dave yet, but he'd probably be in on it. Harvey.
Well, they could be too. All I gotta do is, if it's gonna go through Ray, I'll just go right through Ray. So we're dealing with one person, they could all still be part of it.
I would be up for that if it goes out to bid and he wins the bid. But I mean, we have been planning on doing it the other way for 3 years, I think, like we have done in the past. Like we used to do the sand, and spread it out over the guys in the community, the local guys.
That's what that is. There's at least 2 or 3 local guys figured in that. That's what he told me. So it's not just going to Ray. There's 3 other independent guys that were going to be used in that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure if others wanted to be, that he would accept that, and we could request that too. So if there's someone that you want to be included, we can say, hey, we would like to see this guy and this guy included. It's a lot of work no matter what, so.
Yeah.
Some guys could be busy, and some guys might say forget it, and some guys will say sure.
I'm on it.
But we can say, it's like, if you want to come up with some names, I'd be glad to say, Ray, it's like, can we have these 3 guys or 4 guys included? Then, then the whole project gets done quicker too. Sure, it doesn't really matter to him.
I had planned on hiring 6 trucks for 3 days. And see how much gravel we can get moved in 3 days with 6 trucks.
I get, but this we can put a formula to that. We know what we're spending. That's why I asked for it that way.
Is there anywhere else that you were looking at for materials?
Yes, there was a couple of other different places, but I didn't ask them if they wanted to put it together like that and hire other trucks and what their rate was for I got a slip for the rate for the material, and I had tentatively asked them, and I didn't call them up and say, do you want to hire? We want to hire you and 5 other trucks to gravel our roads for us. I didn't do that, and I think if we're going to do that, they should go out to bid. And
I don't know if you're gonna get someone to even bid to that.
then you bid it. You asked me for a proposal like this, and so then
they can
you want to put. Usually with a gravel bid, you put it out to bid, and you get gravel the town of Granville's roads, North Hollow for $6. We'll haul the material for $6 a yard to wherever. From I'm just using that. It's not. That isn't even going to be a good number anymore, because that was usually from the Bowl Mill or from Hancock doing it that way.
Yeah.
So then you get the bid, and then you hire your trucks on, and so.
With this, what are we thinking total? What are you thinking on that?
We haven't run the numbers yet.
Yeah.
We're talking about doing 1,000 yards. We talked about 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
That was a kind of a.
That was, We were talking, we need a lot more than 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards is a Band-Aid.
Yep.
So.
I remember we had a rough number last meeting.
I
So he said,
I told him that would be a minimum of 1,000 yards.
you told Ray that it would be a minimum of
That's
1,000 yards?
why I said it'd be a minimum of 1,000 yards, and based it on 1,000 yards. So he knew he had expectations of.
With the potential 3 locations of drop-off.
Yes, that's right.
I think that makes it easy so that you don't have to manage it. It saves you time. But you could also dictate who does it,
We can,
but then
re-
you don't have to,
we can request, if there's trucks that you wanna use, we can request that, so those people get included. Now, I know that there's 2 or 3 local guys already in that formula. If you can say you'd like this person, that person, and give us the names, and I'll ask Ray, and they can be included, then, and everyone's, and the community gets supported
yeah.
properly. And I think it's good to use the community help, because even not, like, not just Ray.
Yeah,
Because when we need people, then everyone is making money, and if we need them in the future, then they're still making money, and they have what they have.
that's
They have,
right,
you're supporting their businesses.
that's right.
So we need them
Have
in the
their
future.
equipment. Yep,
So, yeah. And I think we need to search within our stretch of the community.
yeah. And if they have enough stone there,
They do.
they can get it.
Right, yes, that's right.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, they make it all the time.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to go over any mountains.
It's still an hour and a half down to, well, and that's to Maston Hill.
Yeah.
It's
So,
round trip.
so it's 210.
So, yeah, what's that sugaring out to be for time-wise?
I'm gonna average these two, and it's 210 or 245. I'm just gonna say 225. And the gravel came out to 19, so it's 30. Just say 34,000. It's gonna be
$34,000 is what you're
for
saying?
this with the try with figuring out 62 dump truck loads for 1,000 yards for triaxle, and it's $308 for the gravel, and then it's going to be about $225 to get it to North Hollow. $230 maybe
Per load?
Per load.
That's a good price. That sounds like a good price.
What 5?
220?
500 and 525, 537.
You're saying $220 per load delivered.
No, that's just a trucking.
I know. But that's what you're telling me right now, that it's $220 per load delivered to Granville.
On the trucking.
About, yeah, it's up on down.
That's a good number. That's a fair number. By the time you get on there and load and come back, it's gotta be 2 hours.
That's his hour and a half estimate.
Yeah, hour and a half, hour and 3/4.
Yeah, I think it's a really fair number.
Yeah, because if you haul it out of Middlebury, it's about an hour and 40 minutes to the firehouse. Even the pit up to even Acker's pit, it's up to the Middlebury town line, Bristol town line. So it's about an hour 45 minutes
I would think so. Yeah,
on a turn, and it depends on what happens in the pit. You gotta wait.
yeah.
You show up at the wrong time at SLC. You're 5 minutes before 12. You're screwed till 12:30
Yeah.
because they shut down for lunch.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty fair. So
I think I think it is too, but not the town doing it. I think it's a pretty healthy number for. I think it should go out to bid if it's going to be that size of a number.
But if there's 5 different truckers involved, what difference does it make?
You know?
You know what I mean? If it's all the people in the community, it doesn't matter. Everyone, those other 5 people are still earning a living. And if it's within this budget, then it's a good number.
Yeah.
How long would it take for us to get bids if it went out to bid?
You're not gonna get another bid like this, or try to find another bid like this. I don't know.
You wouldn't
Who's
be able to
gonna-
get bids until June.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know who else would put something like this together. You know, it's like, he has the resources, they have a few trucks, but, they can get more trucks, I don't know who else. Beyond that, it's like, first off, he has the resources, it's a good resource. And secondly, he's given us a fair number. It's like, nobody else has the resources other than Middlebury. And it's like, it is what it is. And to get them to come up with the number, like, that won't happen. Nobody will do that. So it's like, Kenny knows how long it takes to come over that mountain. He's done it. And so, if it sounds like the timeline is closer, I mean, it's gotta be a little bit more going over that mountain. So the cost per turn is a really good number. So I just think that we, as, a good steward of the community, just make sure that there's some local people involved in beyond just Ray, that other guys are supported.
Should we move forward with this, but you look into?
You want me to look into other stuff more, or no?
You could look at the other stuff more, sure. Also, I think, come up with some names of some guys that are in the community and ask them if they're willing to participate.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, because if they subcontract drivers, trucks.
Yep. I'll look into it a little bit more. I'll give Acker a call, because he has a resource too. I mean, he has a mountain of gravel over there, but it's over there.
Yeah.
So either way, I guess it doesn't really make much difference.
Sweeping.
Sweeping?
We have a
Sweeping the
proposal.
roads or sweeping out front?
It's,
Road commissioner, public communications.
Road.
Sweeping?
sweeping
That's
service.
already taken care of.
Is it
with
already?
So,
Oh, okay.
Well, it's get half done.
the roads?
The sweeping of the roads.
Yeah, Shane did it, and then we got another storm, and he's sanded again. They're not that bad right now, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see any real mess.
okay.
Now that guy does Hancock, so he's probably should give him a call back, anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, when I got a number to do Granville's, and not knowing that Shane was gonna do ours, and when he came and did Hancock, he was gonna do ours, and I thought that was a pretty good number.
Let me see
Yeah.
that.
Here you go. Oh, this too. This is the permit? The new
Yep,
signature?
for the driveway. And then-
Yeah, I see that catch basin they made up there, Kenny, on Maston's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they screwed that up.
Yeah, it's really just, I mean, you would think it's still got a drain. It's like when the basin gets full, it's gotta be above the culvert,
Yeah.
above the top of the culvert.
I told him to put the basin back in there, and that's what he came up with. I didn't get the chance to talk to him since he did that.
The truck has been there for days. I don't know what's up with that, but they're gonna be back.
Yeah, they could have done a better job putting the culvert in too. Yeah, I would have put it down the hill just a little bit more and put it down in the ground deeper.
Well, I would have taken the crushed stone that was underneath it out, put the culvert in, and put the crushed stone around it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because it'll probably leak underneath.
Yeah.
It doesn't get that much water anyways.
Right. Well, I just thought the lower section might become a problem because it's the basin that he put where the culvert drains on the end of the road. The basin that he created, when it fills, it's above the top of the culvert. So the culvert that's going under the road
It's just,
can't drain
okay.
because he
So it backs
created,
up.
a swimming pool at the end it's higher than the mouth of the culvert. beyond that, when the basin gets full, it goes all over the lot that he just created. Yeah, it just wasn't thought out. Anyway. He could put a cut in that basin so it drains, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, it needs to be fixed a little bit. Put it on the wish list.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything else from the road commissioner?
No.
You're good?
No, I guess I'm good.
You're good, okay. All right. Any items for next agenda? I think
Well,
I will circulate an agenda for next week
mm-hmm,
for our special Tuesday session, so we can get that posted.
yep,
We'll get that posted as soon as possible this week, and out on the website. And that will be probably 3 or 4 key projects that we need to kind of review and look at. But mainly we'll look at, the ones that we reviewed tonight, and the one for Kyle Katz, because we need to give him an answer.
yep,
All right?
yep,
Motion to adjourn?
yep. All in favor?
All in favor? Yes. Done.
Okay.
Adjourned. Thank you.
Any of my paperwork.
Thank you all.